Security team to Sector 5A. A crossfire radiation link has been detected in areas C and D. Shit! What the hell was that?
ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another beautiful episode of Radio 616 AM Modulation. We are doing an emergency broadcast for you all today because, quite frankly, we have an individual that has been serviced a 1-week notice as of a few days ago. I believe that the last time that they are allowed to stay at the current place of residence is, of course, on October 6th. So they need to vacate the premises before then, unfortunately. And so what we are going to be doing is raising a little money for her, but quite frankly, given all things that we have going for her, the individual in question, the recipient, the beneficiary, is none other than ScoobyPup01. And obviously, as somebody who produces for the man who produces for her, it is my sovereign duty to also make up for the inability for me to be able to perform on Thetaswords last night. So I am taking over the reins for this telethon today, and as we go through the provisions and the donations, we will be doing a form of entertainment based on each. So for every $10 a song, and as of this notice stop, we have raised $45. So let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Yes. Meaning that there will be 4 songs that will be performed, alongside 2 bouts of dad jokes being levied at you, and 1 scary story reading. So basically, this all stair steps. We are $5 away from a piano performance, so it's good that people are already beginning to reach deep for our good friend ScoobyPup. And remember to donate to her link pinned at the top, because we were going to be quite honest, we cannot afford to forward any super chats to this channel. Let me reiterate. If we receive super chats to this channel, we do not have money in our account to be able to forward those at the time that she needs the money. So please donate to her link and her link only. If you cannot give to the Give Send Go, use the Stock of Iron PayPal, and he will transfer it immediately to her Give Send Go from there. But other than that, we cannot forward super chats. So don't be throwing 50s or 100s at the channel, expecting it to go to her, because it's not going to happen. We do not have money in our account, and YouTube pays us by the month. So there would be no way that we could raise the money by ourselves to be able to forward it to her in the time allotted. So please donate to the link below. Now, I suppose it's time to go ahead and welcome a motley assembly of post-apocalyptic survivors to the channel. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Yes. Roll that beautiful bean footage, if you would. It's Radio 616 AM Modulation. We are going to be doing ourselves a super solid for ScoobyPup and making her a little money, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be able to help her out right here, right now, to hopefully assist her in finding a new place of residence, as she has been given the dreaded 1-week notice of doom. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome our monthly assembly of post-apocalyptic survivors in the chat today. Hail to everybody that we are about to greet. We have, of course, Tim the Enchanter, FKHC 2005. He was here first, that's right. He's also an individual that can cast fire without utilizing flint or tinder. We got Theta of the Grid. It's a pleasure to see you alongside Betty Stone, one of our resident Time Lords. Pleasure to see you, my dear. Welcome to Brian Truster, Casey's Creepy Creations. Hail to you, sir. And yes, we are monitoring every donation that is coming in forthwith. Hail to Marcelo Lopez, a.k.a. the Son of Mars. Be on the lookout for his channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure that he'll be practicing law for all sorts of otherworldly and eldritch abominations. Hail to the great Brian Tressler. It's a pleasure to see you as well out there, my good fellow. Hail to Blaze 2K, my protege. Hopefully life is treating you well. I understand that you and an individual from another dimension have been at odds with one another lately. It's a pleasure to see you here. Hail to Kashimala. It's a pleasure to see you. He says he's trying to claw back out of a little debt himself. His prayers are excellent. Thank you for hanging out with us today. And you could like, share, and subscribe, my good fellow. Let everybody know that we are trying to make money for a good friend of the channel. Stimulate the approval toggle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent use of overused vernacular. Helter Cap After Dark, it's a pleasure to see you alongside the great, let's see, Brian Trester. It's a pleasure to see you. Alongside Pate of the Grid, there he is again, ladies and gentlemen. I could have sworn I saw Fox Hills. I don't. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlights and Bone. Pleasure to see you all, one and all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, with that out of the way, let us go ahead and provide ourselves a bit of an introductory song, sing and dance, as we go ahead and start. Approving of the work that we are putting here today. Well, constantly we will be adding. There we are. We got another $5. So we have our first $50. So that is going to be 5 a cappella songs, 2 dad joke segments, 1 scary story reading, and 1 piano performance. We are going to give this introductory song for free. And the radio broadcast will continue to broadcast for as long as we are able to. Obviously, we are going to use a buffer of 1 hour of conversation with the chat. And if we get to $100, we will open up the panel for conversations if there are no things left to fulfill. If we get to a total of $200 tonight, we will do a bonus gaming doom stream where we will also post Scooby's link to her fundraiser so that Mr. Stark can suffer in anguish and Scooby can enjoy his pain. Now that we have all of our goals set up, it is time to go ahead and start getting the show done right and proper. And again, your sovereign reminder, do not send donations via Super Chat. We will not be able to forward those. Thank you. Now, let's go ahead and open with this particular introductory piece, and I think that you all will enjoy it. Hey, Hoboman! Hey, Dapperdan! You both got your style, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes may be Beau Brummely, they stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Who cares what they're wearing on Main Street to Savile Row? It's what you wear from ear to ear, and not from head to toe that matters. So, Senator, so, Janitor, so long for a while, you know you're never fully dressed without a smile. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love, and with your admission that you feel the same, I'll drive the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. Ah, yes, the great Captain Ledoux coming in to say, I hate you, Alistair, even though I'm raising money. The ScoobyPup01 who's facing eviction, you still find me mad. Hearken. Hearken as I regale unto you and tell you the whole story. But I digress. Yes, quite. Let's go ahead and acknowledge the super sticker that, again, we are not going to be able to rectify to her give, send, go, but thank you for your generosity. Nonetheless, Sig Volison. Unicorn! And that is a good philosophy to live by. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Even a broken agent of the Decepticon movement is right twice a day, isn't it? But I do digress. Where was I? All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do a parody song for you all tonight. And then we will get to our first levy of dad jokes. The lame. You know what's lame? Becoming a meat puppet for an interdimensional entity over and over and over again. Goodness gracious me, if there was any point in my life that I wouldn't be duped by the same Faustian bargain of all things. Brad Pitt, was it? Brad Pitt? Are you serious right now? Brad Pitt? Well, you know what they say. How much has been raised so far? We have just achieved $50. The Give Send Go is located pinned to the tippity top. Hail to Kyle Reese as well out there. Yes, Brad Pitt. And dear heavens me. I bet you would be the kind of individual that would like Brad Pitt in his performance and interview with a vampire. Is that right? Oh, Louis. Fall into mine arms, Louis. Cheers, by the way. Hail to the great Caleb Levine. Are you going to give me Brad Pitt? I don't know. Are you still going to give me shit if I do? I mean, at least I don't owe child support, Alice, so that's right. I eat children, not make them. Yeah, sent you something in the background to pass along to Scooby. Of course, if you sent it to the PayPal, you do understand. That if I get PayPal donations, Give Send Go charges $10 to donate. I must insist that you use the link that is pinned to the top of the chat to be able to donate to her directly. Let's go ahead and refresh that. Here we are. Yes, if you sent something in the background, one moment here. I don't know where you're coming from in that particular endeavor. Okay, I see. You sent a link. We'll be sure to get that to her before the end of tonight's program. Thank you very, very much. Now, before we get to this next particular number, I want to remind everybody that please, if you do plan on donating, donate to the pinned link above. We do not have funds to be able to forward any super chat money to the channel, and she needs the money by the 6th, no later. All right. Here's a little spin on Cole Porter's Anything Goes. Times have changed, and we've often rewound the clock since the Trekkie fans got the shock when they took out old Mr. Spock. And if today any shock they should try to stem, instead of taking out Mr. Spock would eat bacon. In olden days, a glimpse of Klingons was looked on as something so wrong, but now Kirk knows anything goes. Good Star Trek 2, who once explored the stars, now only leaves us in dive bar stocks for cause. Anything goes. If flying fast ships you like, if Kirk's clash you like, beaming in you like, Nichelle's limb you like, the high bar you like, or some ponfar you like, why nobody will oppose. When every night the set that's woke is making the staff quite broken studios. Anything goes. When Kathleen Kennedy, we hate her, can get Filoni to yes her, then I suppose anything goes. When John Favreau can still hold up enough money to get Jawas upon his shows. Anything goes. Pop culture's gotten mad today, and Luke's sad today, and Ray's best today, and Han's dead today, and the gents today that you want about today is binging those Disney shows. When folks who still can watch this streaming will leave us pundits all meaning, 'cause we know anything goes. Mr. Davies, with great conviction, instructs that shooty in fiction, then shooty blows. Anything goes. When you hear that they, them hyping on up the role of Jesus, coming up typecasting walls. Anything goes. Just think of those shots you've got, and those marks you've got, and those blues you got from the news you got. It's the phobes you're not, if any brains you got from those little old quackos. So all my friends stand proud and brimming, we broadcast with all the trimming, and we all know anything goes. Lovely. George Lucas, look at you. Well, we have ourselves a brilliant face here in the it's good to see the great George Lucas. How much do I need to donate to get billed in here? What I mean, if you really want the Triangle to take over my program, George Lucas is watching on with great interest. As we have discussed in the past, that yes, Star Wars is, unfortunately, my friend, Star Wars is quite dead. But I am certainly hoping that you, Mr. Lucas, could probably do something about that. Necromancy is something that you're familiar with. I mean, you have directed films involving, particular individuals of a certain goose-stepping nature that deal with all things involving the undead. Yes, quite. So if there's something that you can assist in that endeavor, maybe you can bring Star Wars back to at least a semblance, a representation, even if it is a hollow facsimile of its former glory. That would be something that I think everybody would enjoy. Correct? Very good. Now, Merry Christmas, Scooby. Donation has been sent. And, of course, there we are. And that donation is a very generous one. Decepticon Captain Ledoux with a very generous $30 donation directly to the Give Send Go. Thank you very much, my dear. So we are now sitting at 2 scary stories. Update your roster, big fella. We do plan on it. I do appreciate that. We'll refresh it again just to be sure. But yes, I believe that is indeed where we are sitting at now. Excellent. All right. So now we have, as of this notice stop, 1 piano performance, 7 more songs to perform, a cappella. 3 segments of dad humor, and 2 scary stories to read tonight. And again, the radio telethon will go on for the duration as long as donations are still being facilitated until everything has been fulfilled. As is the traditions of telethons of yore, we are going to be doing the same thing. So yes, thank you very much, Captain Ledoux, for your generosity. And I'm certain that at some point in the evening, we could possibly, mind you, we could probably make it possible. We'll just say that. It's possible. Not like Kim possible, but more like Rom-stoppable. Hail to the great Zelosi. Thank you for constantly spamming the link. You'll find that the link is also pinned in the top of the chat. Proviso, we want to make sure that everybody has a good time while we handle most of the administrative work in this endeavor. But that's one of the reasons why Zelosi is one of those really good mods out there. Cheers to you! Well, let's go ahead and do our next acapella track before we get to our first bout of some dad humor, mind you. This one is a bit short, but SRF, Stark Relief Foundation. Yes, correct. Alright, thank you, Marcelo Lopez, for constantly hailing. We understand the financial troubles of our beneficiary, but we will make sure that we remind everybody that some of the best things in life are absolutely free. Captain Ludo says, I got a tip for a while, y'all. Get some donations in, guys. Absolutely. The more that we get, the longer we will run. We're $25 away from opening of the panel after all of our other fulfillments are done, and any fulfillments that happen post which will go towards the bonus Doom gaming stream that'll happen to be announced. The moon belongs to everyone. The best things in life are free. The stars belong to everyone. They gleam there for you and me. The flowers in spring, the robins that sing, the moonbeams that shine, they're yours and mine, and love can come to everyone. The best things in life are free. The moon shines down on everyone, reminding them that it's free. The stars twinkle for everyone, no price tags for you to see. The flowers that spring, the robins will sing. The moonbeams that shine, they're yours, they're mine. And love can come to everyone. The best things in life are free. There we are. Hail to the Grey Coffin, Zane. It's a pleasure to see you, my good fellow. Hopefully life is treating you well where you are. Now, unfortunately, I do have to adhere to our price tags and our acknowledgements. So what we're going to be doing next is a bit of a dad humor, assault and battery, as it were. I know, it's terrifying. But them's as the breaks, my good fellow. We are here to adhere to our fulfillment schedule. So, I hope that you all have your notes handy, because these might end up somewhere else in dad humor entertainment. There's a common misconception that dad jokes are meant to make people laugh. This is not true. The emotion they are meant to elicit is rage, inflicting punitive damage, as it were. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Prepare yourselves for the great cornholio. Let's go ahead and get right to it, shall we? I believe we have some good ones lined up for you, right and proper, as it were. Where do pumpkins have their meetings? In the gold room! What we say around egg whites, they really can't take a yolk, you know. Are we having fun yet? I'm so good at fixing things, my motto is if it is broke, I'll still fix it. I got a new pen that can write underwater. It can write other words, too. Ah, yes. My boss said, dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Well, so I went in as Batman. Are we all having fun yet? I went to the aquarium this weekend, but I did not stay long. There's just something fishy about that place. I gave my handyman a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5. Turns out he only does, the odd jobs. Why should you never take sides in an argument at the dinner table? That's a trick question. What do mermaids use to wash their fins? Tide! I'm going to steal this one from Cypher. I don't think he won't mind, but I went to a silent auction. I won a dog whistle and 2 mimes. This little segment is brought to you by the fine folks at Taco Bell. Live Mars. Did you hear about the guy who went to the doctor for a headache? The doctor examined his ear and found money. The doctor kept pulling it out and pulling it out, and he had $1,999. Well, then the doctor said, no wonder you're not feeling too grand. Let's go ahead and see some user submissions that have been brought to this first bout of Dad Humor, which are currently 3 rounds forthwith. Let us go ahead and scroll up just a tad here. What do you call a rabbit with fleas? Bugs Bunny. Excellently done, Blaze2K. Well done. Let's see. A Jewish mother joke will make you feel guilty if you don't laugh. Well, that's also quite true. If someone is a hand model, they only do hand jobs. I used to hang out around the aquarium. You great minds think alike, mind you. There's a potato chip truck blocking the highway. Expect delays. Anyway, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Did you hear about the slut comedian? She does comedy, hell. She also does everyone. Well done, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I could not agree more. Excellent. Well, that is going to basically start first levy of Dad Humor, and we also have another $10 that have been sent in from the great Orphan Zane, making our total amount raised to $85. Meaning that there are now 4, count them, 4 dad joke segments. I know, it's terrible. Well, this is the rate. But we are going to go ahead and we're going to end this particular one and get right back to the show proper. Let us go ahead and have another a cappella track, and then we will read something spooky. Is everybody enjoying October so far? I know it's only been a day, but come on. If Halloween could be 30 days long, just expand your mind on what it would be like if it was all year. The fall, indeed. The corn is being harvested. Yes, I'm going to make sure that our offerings of said corn is prepared and properly sanctified as we give it up to other owners of said humor, as it were. Now, let's see here. Let's go ahead and give this one a good shot. I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this one to a good friend of the channel. He knows who he is. We asked him to sing a version of this particular piece during a Legionnaire meeting approximately an hour ago. And so I feel it prudent that we perform it here in honor of him. Have you seen the well-to-do up on Lenox Avenue, on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air, high hats and narrow collars, white spats and $15, spending every time for a wonderful time? And if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Oh, putting on the Ritz, spangled gowns upon the bevy of high browns down from the levee, all misfits. Oh, putting on the Ritz, that's where each and every Lulu Bell goes. Every Thursday evening with the swell bows and rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend the last 2 bits. Oh, putting on the Ritz. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Put on the Ritz, spangled gowns upon the bevy of high browns down from the levee, all misfits. Oh, putting on the Ritz, that's when each and every Lulu Bell goes. Every Thursday evening with us elbows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend the last 2 bits. Oh, putting on the Ritz, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend the last 2 bits. Oh, putting on the Ritz. Very good. Today was okay, says Fox Hills. Why can't witches have babies? Because the male witches have Halloweenies. Well, fantastic. Very good. Very, very good so far. Excellent, excellent. All right. be no restarting here. That is amateur hour, to say the least. There will be no restarting here. That is amateur hour, to say the least. Of course, my stream has to echo over my telephonic device. Here we are. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, while this was not a duck of death issue, I still feel it prudent to play this clip because I am quite livid.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What country you from? Ain't no country I ever heard of. They speak English and... English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Yes.
Then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. Say again. Say again. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say one more goddamn time.
He's black.
Go on.
He's bald.
Does he look like a... Does he look like a... No! Then why you try to him like a Brett?
He didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen, we have indeed returned. And let us go ahead and continue working to try to help Miss ScoobyPup. And I believe now I've re-found my center. I did have to do a lot of ranting and raving off of the screen. And hail to Lady Damiana. It's a pleasure to see you, my dear. I believe our next item on the docket is a spooky story reading. So let us go ahead and handle that one proviso, shall we? Let us find ourselves a good one. Here we are. I believe we're on part the third here, and part the second, rather. Alright, let's go ahead and load up to the window outside. Hail to Kronos, it's a pleasure to see you. There is a vengeance on me. Well, I wouldn't say you particularly, just feeling a little vengeance right and proper. Alright, let's do the proper oration of this particular piece. This is part 4 of the Survivor's Guide to Hell. So let's open up the window, shall we? And get right to work, shall we? Cozy up to your radios. But it's time once again for terror and madness. Hello. It's been a long time. The last body I had in the living world didn't cope well with my mind driving it. It's sometimes hard to remember that the lessons you learn in hell aren't a good fit for the civilized world. When murder is just a normal part of existence, you tend to keep doing it out of habit. The inevitable result is either death or exorcism and a trip back to the city of D's. Safe to say, I got a bit carried away the last time I was here. After my last taste of freedom, I knew that I had to get back out of D's. My existence ever since I squandered my last host has been utterly dedicated to fighting my way back into that pillar of fire. I had to escape D's after all I had seen. I had to escape. This new body seems a little bit more durable than the last one. Now that I am back, shall we take another trip into hell? I think we should. The Phlegian Swamp. It rains in hell. It rains all the fucking time, and the water has to go somewhere. Most of it drains out into Gehenna, where it sinks into the otherworldly ash and apparently disappears. The rest flows into the sewers beneath the city or collects in the Phlegian Swamp. Remember how it's a bad idea to drink the rainwater in hell without boiling it? Well, Phlegian's water will kill you no matter what you do with it. Even letting the stuff touch your skin can be deadly. You'll see the swamp isn't just filled with disease and rot. It's also brimming with chemical waste. One pool might simply be undrinkable, but another might dissolve your flesh. If you're mad enough to travel to Pelagian, or unlucky enough to be born there, your odds of survival are slim. Pelagian's waters are inky black, and it's impossible to tell just how deep a pool is by looking. It could be an inch or it could be a mile. You never know or not when your next footfall will plunge you into the cloying abyss. Worse still, there are places where the sewers gradually drain the water, create unseen vortices capable of dragging down even the strongest of the damned. To navigate the swamp, you're better off using the crumbled buildings as stepping stones. The corrosive water causes wooden supports to wither and collapse. There's plenty of debris lying around to stand on. Even so, if you don't take it slow to keep your balance, it's easy to slip and subject yourself to a fucking agonizing death. Last but not least are the wildfires. These are the reason that even the most insane tribes don't dare try to establish a permanent stronghold in the Pelagian swamp. As the chemical waste and decaying matter makes the swamp extremely volatile. A lightning strike or a buildup of gases can result in immense explosions that ignite Pelagian surfaces for miles around. Wildfires move fast. I guarantee that you won't be able to outrun one. Let's talk about the Cocytus, shall we? First time you see Cocytus, you'll be forgiven for thinking that you've reached the very edge of Dees. The pit is dozens of miles wide and several times as deep. At some point in the dim and distant past, fragile alliance of tribes put their slaves to work digging a quarry. Why they did this is lost to time, but many believe there was an attempt to escape Dees. Perhaps those tribes hope that they've dug far enough, eventually tunnel their way out of hell. In my view, it's more likely answered the tribes were looking for resources. If that's true, then the excavation was a success. Miles below the surface, beneath the rock and dirt, there are caverns filled with veins of iron and copper. So far underground and sheltered from the relentless fucking rain, it's far easier to create fire hot enough to smelt ore. The value of such a position wasn't lost on the tribes that the Alliance soon shown how brittle it was. After a short but savage burst of treachery, the initial settlers of Cocytus wiped themselves out. Since then, the pit has been settled and mined countless times. Coordinated efforts from various tribes have transformed the quarry into an abyss. So far, these alliances have all been broken sooner or later. Cocytus has many paths into the depths, and the lower you go, the more labyrinthine the pit becomes. The sprawling caverns shelter entire shanty towns of crude smelting facilities. Some are abandoned, others have been lost to cave-ins. There are still plenty of tribes who fight, join forces, and betray one another for precious ore veins. By this point, you'd have to go pretty fucking deep to find an untapped vein where the Cocytus becomes truly deadly. Anyone who thought that they might be able to tunnel out of hell would be sorely disappointed once they learn what lies in the depths. After all these years, after digging for so many miles, not one person has run into a magical portal leading out of Dees. Though they also haven't run into magma for that matter. Instead, the deeper you go, the colder it becomes. I've never been to the very bottom myself. I'm told that down there the air is cold enough to freeze your blood and shatter your skin. Maybe that's true. I can certainly believe it. On the rare occasions I've been to Cocytus, I have always had to turn back once the walls become more of the ice than rock, and the narrow walkways become a death trap. If you have the numbers to do it, Cocytus is a valuable place to settle. Just remember that when hunger, cold, and greed are your constant companions, none of the damned can truly be trusted. The Pale Witch. I've told you that the Slaughter Band previously, Battelle, and other legendary figures, but of all of the Subcays, the Ripper, the Grim Doctor, the Tyrant, and many more, so far I've only encountered one of these figures. During my last stay in hell, I came across the Pale Witch. And good evening to you, Dan Funk. Welcome to our first of two scary stories. As it is always the case with legends, the truth about the Pale Witch tends to get lost amid the superstition. I've heard plenty of theories as to what she is. The Pale Witch is a shrieker with the power of the evil eye. The Pale Witch is a gorgon whose gaze turns her victims to stone. The Pale Witch is a succubus who entraps the minds of those she wishes to consume. All of that is bullshit. I've seen the Pale Witch and I know the truth about her. When I first saw her, I didn't realize who I was looking at. She was naked and locked in combat with an armed resident that I just took for fresh meat. Here's a tip for you. If you see a resident fighting fresh meat, kill both of them while they're distracted. I planned to do exactly that, but something about that fight seemed off. Residents usually have the upper hand in a fight against fresh meat, and the particular bout definitely seemed about as one-sided as it gets. She was naked, whereas he was clad in leather and bone. She was unarmed, whereas he had a club. She was wayfish, where he was huge. Despite him having what seemed to be the physical advantage, the resident was clearly terrified of her. The rules of hell dictated that he should have cracked her skull, taken her skin, and eaten her flesh. That just wasn't happening. He was uncoordinated and apparently desperate to escape. Every swing he took was as clumsy, and the blows he did manage to land didn't seem to have any effect. I could only stare as this naked, vulnerable woman took the resident's club from his unresisting hand and swung it at his knee. I'm accustomed to the sound of bones breaking by now, but this time the noise caught me off guard. How in the fuck was this happening? She brought the club down on his other knee, then his elbows, ankles, and shoulders. She left him but broken and screaming on the floor. She could have finished him off with a blow to the head, stolen his clothing, and taken her rightful place as a resident. That's how hell works. Those are the rules I've learned through bloody trial and error. But that isn't what happened. Rather than kill him, she sat down beside him in the mud and took his hand in hers. I actually thought she was going to console him until she started breaking his fingers. One by one, she snapped the fingers on both of his hands in a calmness that made absolutely no sense to me. Torture is common in hell, but there's always a purpose behind it. The people on Skin Street do it out of sadism. The people in the Boneyard do it for their insane purification rituals. The woman did it without emotion and without reason. I honestly don't know if she had ever understood that she was hurting him. I don't think her mind worked the same way as ours did. Eventually, the resident lost consciousness. A man can only take so much pain before the shock gets to him. Surely now she's satisfied? Surely he'd take his clothes and restore Hell's order? No. She stood up, tilted her head slightly, and uttered a noise for the first time. It wasn't a victory cry, nor was it even a sigh of relief. Instead, the sound she made was nothing more than a faintly bemused, It was as if she couldn't comprehend why her plaything had stopped moving. She stood up and stepped away from him, apparently content to leave him alive, unconscious, and crippled on the ground. She kept his club, but didn't take his clothing. The cold and the rain didn't seem to bother her at all. Then she looked at me. In that instant, I knew what I was looking at when I saw the Pale Witch. I looked into her eyes, and I couldn't fucking move. I understood why she strayed away, and sheer terror of it froze me. The Pale Witch wasn't a stringer, she wasn't a gorgon, and she wasn't a succubus. The Pale Witch was a Cambrian. It's hard to put into words exactly how paralyzing the sight of Cambrian is. The perfectly serene face of those dead, staring eyes don't belong in a body that is otherwise human. It was looking into the face of a mannequin and knowing that it was looking back at you. The noise again. That kind of detached curiosity that shouldn't exist in a world of predator and prey. Might makes right for survival of the fittest. Nobody in the city of Dees has any right to make that noise. She then took an awkward step towards me, and I saw that her right leg was broken. It seemed that in her fight, the resident had injured her after all. She just didn't notice it. She tried to walk normally, completely unaware that one of her legs had an extra joint. I don't care how tough you are, nobody should be able to put their full weight into a broken leg without even wincing. She stepped closer. The zombie shuffle steadily closing the gap between us as I stared at her. She raised her club and my survival instincts finally kicked into gear. Her transfixing spell broke just enough for me to stumble backwards to avoid her swing. I ran from a woman with a broken leg, and I'm not even ashamed of it. Looking back on my experience, there are some things I just can't comprehend. The Pale Witch was a Cambrian, I'm certain of it. She was born in hell, and hell is all she has ever known. She also looked to be about 30 years old, and that shouldn't be possible either. No baby survives long in Dees, even after they had a tribe to protect him. It just isn't enough nourishment for an infant to grow into a toddler, let alone an adult. The Pale Witch was a walking impossibility, her existence a defiance of all reason. I would endure every torture the people of Skin Street and Boneyard could ever conceive if it meant that I would never have to look into those cold, dead eyes again. There we are. Thank you, thank you. All right, Casey's Creepy Creations is making an offer to assist in our endeavors. Let me close this window before it gets too hot in here. One moment. That's better. I'm going to be making videos tomorrow, so if anyone donates $50 or more, I will dedicate videos to those persons. Brian Tresta says he has work in the morning, so he is going to bed. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Better to sleep than listening to Rick and Morty again. Well, I assure you, Rick and Morty are not here. This is my program, as it were. And we are still $15 away from a panel opening, as it were, after our series of fulfillments. But let us go ahead and get back to the music bright and proper. I believe this will be the 4th song of the 8 that we have raised. So let us go ahead and get to it. This is another piece about not having much money, but at least having fun, which is something that we often do here. This song is by Peggy Lee, and it goes a wee bit like this. Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun? Not much money, oh, but honey, ain't we got fun? The rent's unpaid, dear, we haven't a con. But anyway, dear, we'll stay as we are. Even if we owe the grocer, ain't we got fun? Tax collectors getting closer, still we have fun. There's nothing clearer, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Even if we owe the grocer, don't we have fun? Tax collectors getting closer, what fun. There's nothing shorter, the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Very good. Hail to Alice Lovely, it's a pleasure to see you, my dear. As always, thank you for arriving and taking a seat, and hope that you can cozy up to your radio and listen to the music proviso. Let's go ahead and do a classic one here. And I'm sure that things are going to get better for our good friend ScoobyPup. Let's do this one here. Every time it rains pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortunes falling all over the town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder under a tree, there'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Every time it rains up pennies from heaven, shooby-dooby. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven, shooby-dooby. You'll find your fortunes falling all over the town, baby. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down so you can catch me. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, time to get a shower. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the thing you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies, 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 pennies. Oh, there'll be pennies, pennies from heaven for you and me. Zibba-da-doo-ba-ba. There we are. Now, I believe we have reached our first piano track of the night. So allow me to go ahead and as we were able to at least calibrate this on Theta Zord stream yesterday, even though Evie Mux doesn't allow for the proper audio of character acting via the filters that I use. So this song, the sheets are still there, and I feel it's prudent that we go ahead and do our piano track of the evening, as we have only got the one unlocked, before we get to our next dad joke segment. And again, thank you all for your generosity. It certainly means the world. So give me just a few moments while we get this set up here. And we'll be back momentarily in just a few. All right, this particular piece is brought to you by the late but great Tom Lehrer. This piece is a little song for World War III, also known as So Long Mom, I'm off to drop the bomb. So long, Mom, I'm off to drop the bomb, so don't wait up for me. But while you swelter down there in your shelter, you can see me on your TV while we're attacking frontally, what's breakily and hauntily, describing contrapuntally the cities we have lost. No need for you to miss a minute of the agonizing Holocaust. Yeah! Oh, little Johnny Jones, he was a U.S. pilot, and no shrinking violet was he. He was mighty proud when World War III was declared, and he wasn't scared, no siree. And this is what he said on his way to Armageddon. So long, Mom, I'm off to drop the bomb, so don't wait up for me. But though I may roam, I'll come back to my home, although it may be a pile of debris. Remember, Mommy, I'm off to get a commie, so send me a salami and I'll try to smile somehow. I'll look for you when the war is over, and I'll run a half from now. I do love that particular piece. Give me one moment. All right, here we are. I believe our sound is now right and proper, as it were. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for embellishing for that particular Tom Lehrer piece for you all tonight. Round of applause, if you would. We are going to take a brief intermission, and when we return, we will continue to make our fulfillments for our telethon of Radio 616 AM modulation for the lovely Scooby Pup. We'll be back after these messages. Don't touch that dial.
Honey, the TV's on the fritz again.
Did you try kicking it?
I've tried kicking it, shooting it, and even tossing it in the microwave. And the fact is, I think it's cooked.
Well, don't worry. I heard the Radiation King is coming to a city near us.
Sweetie, can you keep your voice down? You can't support a monarchy in this day and age. The neighbors might think we're anti-American.
Oh, sugar cakes. The Radiation King isn't a monarch. He's just the king of electronics.
They have a king for that?
Well, when you offer 3 different types of TV sets, as well as ham radios and jukeboxes at rock-bottom prices, there's no title more appropriate.
But what does radiation have to do with electronics?
You'll just have to read the caution label for that. Let's just say, the next time you need an x-ray, we might not need to go to the doctor. We can just use the big screen.
A big screen? Do you mean it?
Oh yes, I'm talking 16 inches. We might not even have enough space, but we'll have more than enough money, thanks to the Radiation King.
When is this jukebox gonna stop eating my quarters? It's really annoying.
Well, have you thought about buying your own jukebox?
My liege, is that you?
Oh yeah, I'm the king, baby. The king of radiation. And starting this Friday, I'm offering 20% off on all juke and jives at participant stores.
Wow, 20%? But those savings are so hot, they're practically radioactive.
They're a hunk of burning love, kid.
But your grace, is it true what they say about radiation levels emitted by your products?
That's not something I can legally answer, Daddy-O. But let me ask you this. Did you know that there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol?
I didn't know that. Are you saying that your radiation is the good kind?
I'm heavily implying it. Now head on over to my store, you dig, and get yourself a jukebox.
And we have returned, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I believe our next fulfillment on the docket is another batch of some dad humor. I do apologize. I would apologize, but quite frankly. And I remind you that we are $15 away from donating to Scooby Pup in order to open up the panel for some conversation once all of our entertainment, of variety entertainment fulfillment is complete. So please consider donating now if you are able to, and we will be able to create more fulfillments for this telethon proviso. We are about 2/3 of the way through our fulfillment. We will be providing an hours of conversation with the chat before we wrap up, as to add time for donations to come in. However, we are on a bit of a schedule, unfortunately. I know it's terrible, but this was a very impromptu emergency broadcast, and so our time is severely limited. Let us go ahead and get to our next round of some dad humor. So be sure to put out your golf bags because it's time for round 2. There's a common misconception that dad jokes are meant to make people laugh. This is not true. The emotion they are meant to elicit is rage, inflicting punitive damage, as it were. Oopsie daisy, you know what time it is. It's the unfortunate truth. Let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Now, don't give me any lip. You know, sometimes I feel nostalgic when I put the car in reverse. I just think to myself, this takes me back. What do you call the security guards that work for Samsung? The Guardians of the Galaxy! You know, I wanted to make a joke about retirement, but I honestly don't think it'll work, though. Terrible, I know. The owner of a tuxedo store kept hovering me and said I was browsing, so I asked him, hey, leave me alone. He says, fine. Suit yourself. You know, I found a book called How to Solve 50% of Your Problems. And so I bought 2. Why did the coffee taste like dirt? Because it was just ground up a few minutes ago. Duh. Why did the Rolling Stones stop making music? Well, they got to the bottom of the hill, for starters. Did you hear about the fragile myth? Well, it was busted. What word can you make shorter by adding 2 letters? Short! You know, when it comes to planes ferrying prisoners, whenever they're landing, what would you call said individual? A condescending. You know, justice is a dish that is best served cold. Otherwise, it's just water. Why are Christmas trees bad at knitting? I hear they just drop their needles, like literally all the time. It's quite embarrassing, really. Here's one for Halloween. What is a skeleton's favorite type of road? A skeleton's favorite type of road, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's a dead end, of course. Oh, dear heavens me. Could you clean that up? My God. Well, this has been part the second to 3 fulfillments, actually 4 fulfillments of the dad humor. Hail to Greedo3117, who says, Cray indeed. Welcome over there on the Rumble side of things. Hopefully life is treating you well. This has been our second bout of the dad humor. We're going to sing one more song a cappella and then get back to work, as it were, proviso. Thank you all again for joining in on this bout of, well, let's just call it mandatory torture, as it were. Live Moss! There's a common misconception that dad jokes are meant to make people laugh. This is not true. The emotion they are meant to elicit is rage, inflicting punitive damage, as it were. And now we are back to the program proviso. Let us go ahead and sing this next song and then get to another scary story reading. Because that is where we are at the current conjuncture. Let's see here. We want to sing another classic, don't we? Yes, of course. Let's do this one. Scooby, I hope that this song provides you just as much good luck as it has done for other beneficiaries in the past. We're in the money, we've got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the money, our skies are sunny, old man depression, you are through, you've done us wrong. We never see a headline but a breadline today. And when we see the landlord, we can look that guy right in the eye and say, we're in the money, come on my honey. Let's spend it, lend it, set it, rolling right along. Gone are my blues and gone are my tears. I've got good news to shout in your ears. The silver dollar has returned the fold. With the silver you can turn your dreams to gold, 'cause we're in the money. And we're in the money, we got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the money, our skies are sunny. Old man depression, you are through, you've done us wrong. We never see a headline but a breadline today. And when we see the landlord, we can look that guy right in the eye and we're in the money, come on my honey. Let's spend it, lend it, set it, rolling right along. We're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Well, so let's spend it, lend it, friend it, rolling right along. Hopefully, you will be back onto your financial gains very, very soon. Now, here we go yet again. Can everyone still hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Are we still? Because the Duck of Death seems to be very prudent tonight. Very prudent tonight. I can't connect with the chat. Please try again later. Well, it's always something, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, I really wish somebody would fix the proxy chain on their routers. Let's just go ahead and play this clip again.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What country you from? Ain't no country I ever heard of. They speak English and... English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Yes.
Then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. Say again. Say again. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say one more goddamn time.
He's black.
Go on.
He's bald.
Does he look like a... Does he look like a... No! Then why you try to him like a Brett?
He did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Well, as you can see, this is what happens whenever certain proxy chains happen to go from one router being proxied to another router being proxied. This is the second time that it has done this tonight. It really seems to be having some issues, but at least everybody can still hear me on the stream as it is properly available to us. So we will be providing the chat via the Dock of Death itself. Shrubby1989, who has been a member for this lovely channel for 6 months, says, yes, we can hear you, friggin' strawberry pimp. Sounds like somebody is vying for my affections. It's a pleasure to see that YouTube chat is just being a bitch to me. Absolutely. We are having a bit of a technical issue, yes, but it's good to see you here. Great stream to eat avocado too, by the way. As long as it's not nicocado avocado, I guess we're fine. Thank you, one and all. We will refresh this momentarily. We're going to go ahead and hide it, however, given the circumstances of the erroneous feed of internet broadcast, proviso, as it were. And I will be back one moment, as there seems to be something that is leering over one shoulder. Enjoy this quick and impromptu ad, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Thank you for your patience. And Shrubby1989 with a very generous Australian $50 super chat. Unfortunately, I cannot forward this. I have less than $20 in my personal account until payday from YouTube. I cannot forward this super chat, and she needs it by the 6th. So, unfortunately, while I do appreciate this very kind generosity, I will not be able to forward this to her until a much later date after what she needs to. That's one of the reasons. He says, give, send, go. You can't do neither. I don't know what to tell you. I do apologize, Scooby, but there's just no way I can get that to you at the current time. But we will try something, anything, to try and forward it. But, there's a fine line. We're both needing to eat, my dear. I do apologize. But thank you for the very generous donation. We'll figure it out. I will count that $50 super chat towards Casey's rewarding system, though. Casey's Creepy Creations, if you're still broadcasting, or if you're still listening to our broadcast, you have someone that can assist you, that you can dedicate a video to. So we thank you for that, Casey's Creepy Creations. If you're still out there, you have somebody that you can dedicate a video to. It will be Shrubby1989 Proviso. We are eating steak this month. We're not downgrading. We have $20 to our name, so even if we were to do that, we cannot forward that at this time. Hail to Lock PSB. It's a pleasure to see you here. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. We are about ready to get to our second scary story oration. The chat has returned indeed. Excellent. Very good. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to read a Poe classic. And this is a particular one that I know that our good friend Orphan Zane, if he is currently in the audience still, will enjoy. This is Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat. And so if you guys would like to, once again, cozy up to your radios while we go ahead and set up this oration, we will happily do that for you. I'm going to be scared. It's going to piss himself. Well, this story is a classic, as it were, my friend. And this is a piece by none other than the grandfather of modern horror literature, the great Edgar Allan Poe himself. And I hope that, we're going to be reading. Casey wants to shove money in Gibson, go for Scooby, and you can send him the money afterwards. That will work as well, Mr. Dear Man, at your convenience. We'll make sure that she gets the money on the 21st. That's the best that I can offer. We don't need to add any more middlemen because we just don't have the funds. Now, if somebody were to drop, say, a mega chat of $50 throughout the month before the 21st, we can afford it. If need be, but right now we just don't have the. We're not a bank. We cannot, work on liens and loans. Unfortunately, we are a very buy here, pay here institution. But we will definitely try and get her the money as soon as possible, fiscally, of course. Let's go ahead and open up the window again to the home sweet hell outside. And we shall go ahead and get this next oration up and running. This particular piece is called The Black Cat. It was published in the year of our Lord 1845 by none other than the great Edgar Allan Poe. For the most wild, yet most homely narrative of which I am about to pen, I neither expect nor solicit belief. Mad indeed would I be to expect it, in a case where my very senses reject their own evidence. Yet mad I am not. Very surely I do not dream, but tomorrow I die, and today I will unburthen my soul. My immediate purpose is to place here before the world plainly, succinctly, and without comment, a series of household events. And the consequences these events have terrified, have tortured, have destroyed me. Yet I will not attempt to expound them. To me they have presented little but horror. To many they will seem less than terrible than Baroque's hereafter. Perhaps some intellect may be found which will reduce my phantasm to the commonplace. Some intellect more calm, more logical, and far less excitable than my own, which will perceive in the circumstances I detail with awe nothing more than the ordinary succession of the natural causes and effects. From my infancy, I was noted for the docility and humanity of my disposition. My tenderness of heart was even so conspicuous as to make me the jest of my companions. I was especially fond of animals, and was indulged by my parents with a great variety of pets. With these I spent most of my time, and never was so happy when feeding and caressing them. This peculiarity of my character grew with my growth, and in my manhood I derived from it one of my principal sources of pleasure. To those who have cherished the affection of the faithful and sagacious dog, I need hardly be at the trouble of explaining the nature or the intensity of the gratification thus derivable. There's something in the unselfish and self-sacrificing love of a brute, which goes directly to the heart of him who has the frequent occasion to test the paltry friendship and gossamer fidelity of mere man. I married early. I was happy to find my wife a disposition not uncongenial with my own. Observing a partiality for domestic pets, she was lost no opportunity of procuring the most agreeable kind. We had birds, goldfish, fine dogs, rabbits, a small monkey, and a cat. The latter was a remarkably large and beautiful animal, entirely black but sagacious with the astonishing degree. In speaking of his intelligence, my wife, who was at heart not a little tinctured by the superstition, made frequent allusion to the ancient popular notion which regarded all black cats as witches in disguise. Not that she was ever serious upon this point. I mention the matter of be no better reason than if it happens just now to be remembered. Pluto. This was the cat's name. It's my favorite pet and playmate. I alone fed him, and he attended me wherever I went around the house. It was even with difficulty I could prevent him in following me through the streets. Our friendship lasted in this manner for several years, during which general temperament and character, through the instrumentality of the fiend intemperance, had I, blush to confess it, experienced a radical alteration for the worse. I grew day by day more moody, more irritable, more regardless of the feelings of others. I suffered myself to the intemperate language of my wife. At length I even offered her personal violence. My pets, of course, were made to feel the change in my disposition. I not only neglected, but ill-used them. For Pluto, however, I still retained sufficient regard to restrain me from maltreating him. I made no scruple in maltreating the rabbits, the monkeys, or even the dog, when by accident or through affection, they came in my way. But my disease grew upon me, for what disease is like alcohol? And at length, even Pluto, who was now becoming old and consequently somewhat peevish, even Pluto began to experience the effects of my ill temper. One night, returning home, much intoxicated. One of my haunts about town, I fancied that the cat avoided my presence. I seized him when, in his fright of my violence, he inflicted a slight wound upon my hand with his teeth. The fury of a demon instantly possessed me, and I knew myself no longer. My original soul seemed at once to take its flight from my body, and a more fiendish malevolence, gin-nurtured, thrilled every fiber of my frame. I took from my waistcoat pocket a penknife, opened it, grasped the poor beast by the throat, and deliberately cut out one of its eyes with a socket. I blush, I burn, I shudder, while I pen the damnable atrocity. When reason returned to me that morning, I had slept off the fumes of the night's debauch. I experienced a sentiment half of horror, half of remorse for the crime which I had been guilty. But it was at best a feeble and equivocal feeling that still remained untouched. I again plunged into excess, and soon drowned in wine all memory of the deed. In the meantime, the cat slowly recovered. The socket of the eye lost presented, it's true, a frightful appearance, but he no longer appeared to suffer any pain. He went about the house as usual, but as might be expected, fled in extreme terror at my approach. I had so much of my old heart left that to be at first grieved by the evident dislike on part of a creature who had once so loved me, this feeling soon gave place to irritation, and then came, as a final and irrevocable overthrow, a spirit of perverseness. In this spirit philosophy I take no account, yet I am not sure as how the soul lives, and I am to perverse it is one of the primitive impulses of the human heart. The indivisible primary faculties or sentiments which give direction to the character of man who has not 100 times found himself committing a vile or silly action, but no other reason than because he knows he should not. Have we not the perpetual inclination, in the teeth of our best judgment, to violate that which is law, merely because we understand it to be such? This spirit of perverseness, I say, came to my final overthrow. It is this unfathomable longing of the soul to vex itself, to offer violence in its own nature, to do wrong for the wrong's sake only, urged me to continue to finally consummate the injury I had inflicted upon the offending brute. One morning, in cool blood, I slipped the noose about the neck and hung it from the limb of a tree. Hung it from the tears streaming from my eyes and with the bitterest remorse of my heart. Hung it because I knew that it had loved me, because it had felt it given me no reason for offense. Hung it because I knew that in doing so I was committing a sin. A deadly sin that would jeopardize my immortal soul as to place it, if the thing were possible, and beyond the reach of the infinite mercy of the most merciful and most terrible God. On the night of the day in which this cruel deed had been completed, I was aroused from my sleep in the cry of fire. The curtains of my bed were in flames. The whole house was blazing. It was with great difficulty that my wife, a servant, and myself made our escape from the conflagration. The destruction was complete. My entirely worldly wealth was swallowed up. I resigned myself thenceforward into despair. Hail to Tank Faded out there. I hope you're enjoying the oration thus far. I'm above the weakness of seeking to establish a sequence of cause and effect. Between the disaster and the atrocity, I am detailing a chain of facts. I wish not to leave even a possible link imperfect. On the day succeeding the fire, I visited the ruins, the walls, with one exception, that had fallen in. This exception was found in a compartment wall, not very thick, which stood about the middle of the house. The against head rested on the head of my bed. The plastering I had here, in great measure, resisted the action of the fire, a fact which I attributed to having been recently spread. About this a dense crowd were collected, and many persons seemed to be examining a particular portion of it, with very minute and eager attention. The words strange, and singular, and other similar expressions excited my curiosity. I approached and saw, as if graven in vast relief, on the white surface, the figure of a gigantic cat. The impression was given with the accurately truly marvelous. There was a rope about the animal's neck. When I first beheld this apparition, for what I could scarcely regard it as less my wonder and my terror were extreme. The length of reflection that came to the aid, the cat, I remember, had been hung in a garden adjacent to the house. Upon the alarm of fire, the garden had been immediately filled by the crowd, by someone, and when the animal must have been cut from the tree and thrown through the open window and into my chamber. This had probably been done in a view of arousing me from sleep. Falling of other walls had compressed the victim to by cruelty of the substance of the freshly spread plaster, the lime of which, with the flames, and the ammonia from the carcass, had then accomplished portraiture as I saw it. Although thus I readily accounted my reason, is not altogether conscious, but the startling fact just detailed is not less failed to make a deep impression upon my fancy. For months I could not rid myself of the phantasm of the cat, and during this period there came back into my spirit a half-sentiment of that seemed, but was not remorse. I went so far as to regret the loss of the animal that took about me among the vile haunts which now habitually frequented. Another pet was of the same species, and somewhat similar appearance, to which its supply was in its place. The night as I sat, half stupefied, in a den of much more than infamy, my attention was suddenly drawn to some black object reposing upon the head of the release of an immense hogsheads of gin, or of rum, which constituted the chief furniture of the apartment. I had been looking steadily at the top of the hogshead for some minutes, and now caused me surprise was the fact that I had not sooner perceived the object thereupon. I approached it and touched it with my hand. It was a black cat, a very large one, fully as large as Pluto, closely resembling him in every respect but one. Pluto had not a white hair upon any portion of his body, but this cat had a large, although indefinite splotch of white, covering wholly the region of the breast. Upon touching him, he immediately arose, purred loudly, and rubbed against my hand, and appeared delighted with my notice. This, then, was the very creature of which I was in search. At once I offered to purchase it of the landlord, but the person had made no claim to it, knew nothing of it, and had never seen it before. I continued my caresses, and when I prepared to go home, the animal evinced a disposition to accompany me. I permitted it to do so, occasionally stooping and patting it as I proceeded. When it then reached the house, it domesticated itself at once. Yeah? There we go. I do apologize for that. Your sound died. Can everyone hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Testing, testing. 1, 2. There, it's back. Okay. Alright, where were we? Let's go back a paragraph. I continued my caresses, and when I prepared to go home, the animal evinced a disposition to accompany. I permitted it to do so, occasionally stooping and patting it as I proceeded. When I reached the house, it domesticated itself at once, and became immediately a great favorite with the wife. For my own part, I soon found a dislike to it arising within me. This was just the reverse of what I had anticipated. But I know not how or why it was, its evident fondness for myself rather disgusted and annoyed. By slow degrees, those degrees of disgust and annoyance rose from the bitterness of hatred. I avoided the creature. A certain sense of shame and remembrance for my former deed of cruelty preventing me from physically abusing it. I did not for some weeks strike or otherwise violently ill-use it, but gradually, very gradually, came to look upon it with an unutterable loathing, as to flee silently from its odious presence, as to from the breath pestilence. What added, no doubt, to my hatred of the beast was the discovery, on the morning and after I brought it home, that, like Pluto, had also been deprived of one of its eyes. This circumstance, however, had endeared it to my wife, whom, as I had already said, possessed in high degree that humanity of feeling which had once been my distinguishing trait, the source of many of the simplest and purest pleasures. But the aversion to this cat, however, it's partially for myself, seemed to increase. It followed my footsteps with a pertinacity which could only be difficult to make the reader comprehend. Wherever I sat, it would crouch beneath my chair or spring upon my knees, covering me with its loathsome caresses. If I rose to walk when it would come to between my feet, I'd nearly throw me down, or fastening its long and sharp claws in my dress, clamber in this manner to my breast at such times. Although I longed to destroy it with a blow, I yet withheld from doing so, partially by memory of my former crime, but chiefly, let me confess it at once, my absolute dread of the beast. This dread was not exactly a dread of physical evil, and yet I should be at a loss to otherwise how to define it. I'm almost ashamed to own, yes, that even in this felon's cell, I'm almost ashamed to own that the terror and horror in which the animal inspired me had been heightened by one of the merest chimeras they could possibly conceive. My wife had called my attention more than once to the character of the mark of white hair, of which I have spoken, that it was constituted the sole visible difference between this strange beast and the one that I had destroyed. The reader will remember that this mark, although large, has originally been very indefinite, but by slow degrees nearly imperceptible, of which for a long time reason struggled to reject as fanciful, it had at length assumed a rigorous distinctness of outline. It was now the representation of an object that I shuddered to name. For this above all I loathed and dreaded. Would have rid myself of the monster had I dared. It was now the very image of a hideous, ghastly thing. Of the gallows. Oh, mournful and terrible engine of horror and crime, of agony and death! Now I was indeed wretched upon the wretchedness of mere humanity, and a brute beast, whose fellow I contemptuously destroyed, a brute beast, to work out for me, a man fashioned in the image of a high god. So much of insufferable woe, alas, neither by day or night I knew the blessing of rest any more. During the former, the creature left me no moment alone, and in the latter I started hourly from dreams of unenterable fear, to find the hot breath of the thing upon my face, and its vast weight, an incarnate nightmare which I had no power to shake off, incumbent eternally within my heart. Beneath the pressure of torments such as these, the feeble remnant of the good within me succumbed. Evil thoughts became my sole intimates, and the darkest and most evil of thoughts, the moodiness, the usual temper increased to hatred of all things, of all mankind, while, from the sudden, frequent, and ungovernable outbursts of a fury, I now blindly abandoned myself of uncomplaining wife, alas, the most usual and most patient of sufferers. One day she accompanied me upon the household errand, into the cellar of the old building which our poverty compelled us to inhabit. The cat followed me down the steep stairs, nearly throwing me headlong, exasperated me into madness. Uplifting an axe and forgetting in my wrath the childish dread, had hitherto stayed my hand. I aimed a blow at the animal, which of course would have proved instantly fatal had it descended as I wished. But this blow was arrested in the hand of my wife. Goaded by the inheritance into a rage more than demoniacal, I withdrew my arm from her and grasped the buried axe in her brain. She fell upon the spot without a groan. This hideous murder accomplished, I set myself forthwith the entire deliberation to the task of concealing the body. I knew that now I should remove it from the house, either by day or night, at the risk of being observed by the neighbors. Many neighbors entered my mind. At one period I was cutting the corpse into minute fragments and destroying them by fire. At another I resolved to dig a grave for it in the floor in the cellar. Again deliberated about casting it into the well in the yard, about packing it in a box of merchandise with the usual arrangements, and so by getting a porter to take it from the house. Finally, I had to put in what I consider a far better expedient than either of these. I determined to wall it up in the cellar, as the monks of the Middle Ages did, and are recorded to have walked out their victims. For the purpose, such as the cellar was adapted, its walls were loosely constructed, and lately been plastered with a rough plaster, which the dampness of the atmosphere has prevented from hardening. Moreover, in one of the walls was a projection caused by a false chimney or fireplace that had been filled up, and made to resemble the rest of said cellar. I made no doubt that I could readily displace the bricks in this point, insert the corpse, and wall the hole up as before, so that no eye could detect anything suspicious. In this calculation I was not deceived. By means of a crowbar I easily dislodged the bricks. Having carefully deposited the body against the inner wall, I propped it in position, while with little trouble I relaid the whole structure as it originally stood. Having procured mortar, sand, and hair, with every possible precaution, I prepared a plaster which could not be distinguished from the old. And with this I very carefully went over with new brickwork. When I had finished, I felt satisfied that all was right. The wall did not present the slightest appearance of having been disturbed. The rubbish on the floor was picked up with the minutest of care. I looked about triumphantly and said to myself, here at last, then, my labor has not been in vain. My next step was to look for the beast which had been the cause of so much wretchedness, for I had at length finally reserved to put it to death. Had I been in the meat at this moment, there would have been no doubt of its fate. It appeared that the crafty animal had been alarmed at my violence and my previous anger and forebore to present itself in my present mood. It is impossible to describe or to imagine the deep, blissful sense of relief about which the absence of the detested creature occasioned in my bosom. It did not make its appearance during the night, and thus for one night, at least, since its introduction into the house, I soundly and tranquilly slept. I slept, even with the burden of murder on my soul. And welcome to Charlie Nuclear. It's a pleasure to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying our current oration of Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat. The second and the third day passed, and still my tormentor came not. Once again I breathed as a free man. The monster, in terror, had fled the premises forever. I should behold it no more. My happiness was supreme. The guilt of my dark deed disturbed me but little, and some few inquiries have been made, and these have been so readily answered, even a search of which had been instituted. But of course nothing was to be discovered. I looked upon my future felicity as secured. Upon the fourth day of the assassination, partly of the police came, very unexpectedly, into the house, and proceeded to make again more rigorous investigation of the premises. Secure, however, in the inscrutability of my place of concealment, I felt no embarrassment whatever. The officers bade me to accompany them in their search. They left no crook nor corner unexplored. At length, for the third or fourth time, they descended into the cellar. I quivered not in a muscle. My heart beat calmly, as of that one who slumbers of innocence. I walked the cellar from end to end, and folded my arms upon my bosom, and roamed easily to and fro. The police were thoroughly satisfied and prepared to depart. The glee in my heart was too strong to be restrained. I burned to say but one word by way of triumph to render doubly sure that their assurance of my guiltlessness. Gentlemen, I had said at last, the party ascended the steps. I delight to have allayed your suspicions. I wish you all health and a little more courtesy. By the by, gentlemen, this is a very well-constructed house. A rabid desire to say something easily, I scarcely knew what I uttered at all. I may say an excellently well-constructed house. These walls, are you going, gentlemen? These walls are solidly put together, and here, to my frenzy of bravado, I rapped heavily on with a cane, and I held my hand upon the very portion of the brickwork which had stood the corpse, the wife of my bosom. But may God shield and deliver me from the fangs of the arch-fiend. No sooner had the reverberation of the blows sunk into silence, I was answered by a voice from within the tomb, by a cry, at first muffled and broken like the sobbing of a child, and then quickly swelling into one long, loud, and continuous scream, utterly anomalous and inhuman. A howl, a wailing shriek, half of horror and half of triumph, such as might have arisen out of only hell, conjointly from the throats of the damned in their agony, of the demons that exalt the damnation. Of my thoughts it is folly to speak. Swooning, I staggered the opposite wall. For an instant the party upon the stairs remained motionless, though extremity and terror and all, and the next dozen stout arms were toiling at the wall. It fell bodily, the corpse, already decayed and unclotted with gore, stood erect before the eyes of the spectators. Upon its head, with the red extended mouth and the solitary eye of fire, sat the hideous beast, whose craft had seduced me into murder, whose informing voice had consigned me to the hangman. I had walled up the monster within the tomb. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very good. Let us continue with our fulfillments as well as refresh the gifts and go to see if any more money has come in since last we spoke. We are currently sitting at gathering a $105 total for our good friend ScoobyPup in this emergency fundraiser telethon, and we thank you all for your generosity indeed. Let us go ahead and get back to fulfilling the last quarter, as well as opening up the panel for an hour, as promised, if we were to breach the $100 mark. And we shall go from there. So give me just a few moments while we do exactly that. And of course, once again, thank you all again for everybody who has been so generous tonight. You all have been absolutely pleasant. We will be back after a few messages from some of our not-so-sponsory individuals. We'll see you in just a few texts. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. I'm sure the dial will simply tune itself back if you did.
I'd like to build a world and you can furnish it with love. Grow mushroom trees and atomic bees and quantum colored doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world and you can keep it company. It's the real thing. Good. What the world wants today. Coca-Cola. Mushroom trees and atomic bees and quantum colored dove. It's the real thing. Good. What the world wants today. Coca-Cola. I'd like to buy the world a nuke and keep it company.
We all know how much kids and adults alike love the great taste of Nuka-Cola Classic, Nuka Cherry, and Diet Nuke. And now it's our pleasure to announce to you the latest in soda flavor technology. Nuka-Cola Quantum, with 17 fruit flavors blended together with that signature cola taste. Nuka-Cola is the perfect soft drink for all occasions. With its new strontium additive, it's got that unique kick that'll keep you feeling fresh and radiant, whether it's for a day at the job or a night on the town. Nuka-Cola Quantum, twice the carbohydrates, twice the caffeine, and twice the taste.
It's been said that a dog is man's best friend. Well, let's re-examine that theory, shall we? Does a best friend leave excrement all over your yard or rub his privates on your leg? Does a best friend demand you feed him, walk him, and throw him sticks, when clearly the only one getting anything out of this relationship is him? No, true friendship is mutually beneficial. A real best friend will tell you a joke when you're feeling down, or bake you a cake on your birthday. He doesn't dirty the floors, he sweeps them. And he greets your arrival with a sharp tongue, not a slobbering one. It's time we ask for more from a friendship. General Atomics Mr. Handy, man's best friend, reinvented.
And we have returned, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue with our radio telethon. Thank you, thank you. Now, I trade my cat in for Mr. Handy, well, just so long as that cat doesn't end up in the hands of a sudden madman. But yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue on with tonight's program, and thank you all again from the bottom of my heart for being with us tonight and ensuring that things are going to be a little bit easier for Scooby. We've raised over $100, and that is absolutely marvelous. So let us go ahead and continue with our musical interludes, where I believe we have 4 songs left to sing a cappella, 2 more bouts of dad humor, 1 more scary story, and a piano track. So let's not dilly-dally and get to our schedule forthwith with another a cappella piece. And this one is a very one that is very close and dear to my heart. It is an Irish ballad. So if anybody is drinking tonight, now's the time, especially if you're drinking anything Irish. to go ahead and raise your glasses as we sing a little Bing Crosby. If you're ever gonna cross the sea to Ireland, when maybe at the closing of your day, you will sit and watch the moon rise over Cleda, and see the sun go down on Galway Bay, just to hear the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadows making hay, and to sit beside a turf fire in the cabin, and watch the barefoot gossans at their play. All the breezes blowing o'er the seas from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they blow, and the women in the uplands digging praties speak a language that the strangers do not know. For the strangers came and tried to teach us their way. They scorned us just for being what we are, but they might as well go chasing after moonbeams, or light a penny candle from a star. And if there is going to be a life hereafter, and somehow I am sure there's going to be, I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in a dear land across the Irish Sea. There we are. After file 13, he says, "Sup, homies, saw about an hour of fainty goats and wanted some German guy dance around a fire and lederhosen. Tired of studying. Ah, yes, when the brain wants to shut off. Let's go ahead and do another song, and this one, of course, is one of my particular favorites because it reminds me of home. Let's go ahead and take care of this right here, right now. I walk the streets of New Orleans with the girl of my dreams. I've seen a dozen brass bands play and swing while little children laugh, dance and sing. I've seen old men drunk, singing the blues with top hats, canes, and spectator shoes. I consider myself lucky to have fallen in love with the girl, the city, and the river of mud. Let me know where I can go to save my soul. Let me know where I can go to save my soul. New Orleans. I had a drink with old Louis' ghost. He was a most gracious host. I heard Gabriel sing and play his horn and lived to see the day both my babies were born. I love jelly, fats, Fez and King. They were the ones that taught the world to swing. I consider myself lucky to have fallen in love with the music, a city, and the river of mud. Let me know where I can go to save my soul. Let me know where I can go to save my soul. Where I can go to save my soul. New Orleans. New and welcome to tonight's broadcast. We have raised, I'm sure that you're curious, Cindy, we have raised over $100 so far in helping Scooby in her current predicament. We do have a few pieces of work to do before we open up the panel if you're choosing to join. If not, then I hope that you cozy up to the radio and rewind this program because the telethon has been quite a very busy one. Been a very busy telethon that we've had so far. Her give, send, go is pinned to the tippity top of the chat. And we hope that the money is well received. And this time, thank you for swinging by, and I hope that you enjoy the proceedings here. Before we get to our next bout of dad jokes, I feel it prudent, since Cinevere is a bit of a celebrity in our circle, to expedite a little bit of the piano. So if you'll give me just a few moments while I change my audio ins, we'll go ahead and we'll tickle some ivories for Cinevere right proper. So please do yourself a super solid and don't touch that dial. We'll be back in just a few moments. Alright, very good. Let us go ahead and provide ourselves, let's do a little warm-up ditty. We got ourselves a quick rag for you. Let's start with that, shall we? I think you'll like this one in particular, no sense of order. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, oh take me home to the place I belong in West Virginia. Mountain Mama, oh take me home. Country roads, and all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong in West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong in West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, oh, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of that penny ante piani for you. Penny ante piani, as it would be penny ante piani, something along the effects of that. Let us go ahead and switch back in our line-ins. Give me just a tickety-tickety-two, and we'll be back in just a few moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for the second of the $50 marks for the piano performances, ladies and gentlemen. And now, we are slowly getting to the end of our fulfillments. However, because we had achieved the $100 mark, we will be opening the panel for approximately 1 hour. So everybody can come up here and converse, and of course ScoobyPup will have the first link. As long as everyone behaves, then everybody can cozy up to the radio, and you can bring in your calls live on the air. And we can just have a bit of fellowship before we wrap up tonight's program. Let's update and see if we've got any more donations to consider fulfillments. We have another $5 that brings us up to 3 more a cappella songs. Thank you very much. And we appreciate your donation to help ScoobyPup. And hail again to Abomination AJ, the great A-Bomb himself. We got Charlie Nuclear and A-Bomb himself. So it's a pleasure to see you both here, and I hope that you all are having a wonderful evening forthwith. All right, before we get to our a cappella tracks, we are going to go ahead and, unfortunately, provide a little bit more of the bane for those in the bigot army. That's right. It's time for some more dad humor. You want it, you got it, Toyota. Don't look at me like that. There's a common misconception that dad jokes are meant to make people laugh. This is not true. The emotion they are meant to elicit is rage, inflicting punitive damage, as it were. Here we are once again, dad jokes at the fore. Could you really ask for more? I do implore. What did the grape say when it got stepped on? Nothing. Just a little wine. What did the alien say to the landscaper? Take me to your weeder. The other day I was attacked by a bunch of circus clowns in a parking lot. I won, though, because I went right for the juggler. How many ears does Captain Kirk have? 3. The left right here in the final frontier. Oh, dear heavens me, goodness gracious. I thought that one was hilarious. You are charlatans and Philistines that don't know good jokes if they slapped you in the face, much like a wet fish. Did you hear about the famous pickle? I heard he was a really big dill. No? I tell you what. I went on Amazon to buy a lighter, but all they had were 3,472 matches. Oh, dear heavens me. What has 4 wheels and flies? Yes, it's a garbage truck joke, I know. I know. I'm not even trying, but let's just try and bring this back to center, shall we? Why is a sausage bad for you? It brings out the worst in people. Get it, worst? We dedicate this segment to Hypnotic. Be sure to clip it and send it to him with my regards, straight from Pentagram City, Alastor, the radio demon, broadcasting to you, proviso. Let's see here. Oh, dear. Are you about dumb? What is an astronaut's favorite board game? Monopoly! Nothing? Truly? Nothing? You know, why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom? Because a P is silence. Duh. One more, too. How about this one? What is a dog's favorite superhero? I'll give you a hint. It's from Marvel. That's right, we're going there. The Marvel reference. Labrathor! These are making me smile. Well then, what can I say? You're never fully dressed without one. Cue the rim shot. Thank you. Very good. Now, one more for the road. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef! Ah, yes, truly. Never a kinder words were spoken. There's a common misconception that dad jokes are meant to make people laugh. This is not true. The emotion they are meant to elicit is rage, inflicting punitive damage, as it were. Alright, simply to expedite, I'm sure that some people would like to be coming on the panel in just a few moments. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we are going to do our final scary reading that we have queued up for this evening, followed with 2 more a cappella tracks, and then we will be bringing on folks, including Miss ScoobyPup herself, our beneficiary, to converse with us for approximately 1 hour. And we will see if any more pledges come in, more donations, and if so, we will fulfill them as they arrive. Thank you again for all of your wonderful donations tonight. We'll be right back after these words and messages. Don't go anywhere. It's only now just getting good.
What's that burning up the road? Is it a wildfire? Nuclear fallout? No, it's the new Chrysler's Corvega Atomic V8, the fastest automotive vehicle ever built. And what makes the Corvega faster than any other car? Why, it's the fins. These stylish tail fins aren't just for show. They're the exact same fins you'll find on ships NASA engineers for spaceflight. What does that have to do with automobiles? nothing if you're talking about the cars produced by our competitors. But the Corvega isn't just a car. It's a giant leap forward, delivered by a company with the know-how and ingenuity to reach for the moon, just like America. Chrysler, America's #1 producer of nuclear-powered automobiles.
In class, it's not so bad. But when school's out and the others leave to enjoy themselves, well, if you're what they call a shy guy, that's when you really feel it. The awkwardness of being left out and lonely. Now, you could try working on your social skills and developing the traits necessary to function in an increasingly communal society. But why do that when you can just purchase Robco's new Soulmate series of animatronic robots? Each machine is specially designed to stimulate real human contact, responding to commands varying from, "Do you love me?" to, "Does Robco's warranty extend to damage caused by passionate lovemaking?" The answer to both is a resounding maybe. So try Robco's Soulmate series of animatronic robots today and never feel lonely again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and expedite these pledges. Let's double check and make sure. And we didn't have any more come in. And we have not. All right, very good. Now, this one has been done before, but in the spirit of spooky season and the fact that it is not too long, we shall do this one again. And so far, so good. Let's continue having a little bit of that good old-fashioned scary story. So again, this is a poem from Edgar Allan Poe, and it's a classic, and it's one that I've orated many times. But we will be doing it again for those who have not heard it. Let's go ahead and get right to it, shall we? Hail to the Finch King, a pleasure to see you, an anime night, a member at 11 months. Says, sup, Tony and everyone, happy spooky season. Mr. Stark is not here, this is my program, but I'll be sure to pass it along. Very well. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of something gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from a book surcease in sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden, who the angels name Lenore, nameless here, but evermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, still, to the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance of my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance of my chamber door, 'tis is it and nothing more." Presently, my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "oh, madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, as I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce, sir, I heard you. I hear I open wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal dared to dream before. But since the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and echo murmured back, said word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon I heard again the tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely there's something at my window lattice. Let me see then where thereat is, and mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, this mystery explore. 'Tis the way to nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when many a flirt and flutter, in stepped a stately raven of the stately days of yore. Say that 3 times fast, ladies and gentlemen. Not the least obeisance made he, not admitted stopped or stayed he, but with mine lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched and sat upon the palace above my chamber door. He had done this, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stood decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. But we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, but such his name and nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as of his soul, and that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther did he utter, not a feather did he flutter, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, and my hopes have flown before. And then the bird said, nevermore. Startled in the stillness, broken sigh, reply so aptly spoken, doubtless said I, but to others is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till his songs one burden bore. To the dirges of his hope and the melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled my cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly gaunt, ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This I sat more dividing, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lighting. The lamplight glowed o'er, whose velvet lighting glowed over the lamplight, saying, she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air-goo dancer, performed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy Godhead let thee, by the angels he had sent thee. Respite, respite, and repent my memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind repent, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still of bird or devil, when the tempter sits the tip and toasty near its hole. Temperate still undaunted on this desert land, enchanted on this hill, thy whorehood to tell me truly I am full. It's there, it's a poem in Gilead, tell me I am full. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still of bird or devil, by that heaven that bids upon us, by that color we both adore. Tell this so laden with this destinated is a class of sainted maiden, whose angels name Lenore, clasp of hand and radiant maiden, the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that our sign of parting, bird nor fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest of the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume, a token of what thy soul has spoken. Leave mine loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, eat my shorts. No, it was nevermore. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting, and the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming in the lamplight o'er him, streaming throws a shadow on the floor. And my soul from out the shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have two more songs to perform, and this is usually two songs that Mr. Stark partners together. They're both Frank Sinatra classics. And they work tandem, especially for those who are facing the challenges in life. I want to once again thank everybody for donating their pledges to this telethon. We'll be opening the panel for some fellowship, as well as for any last-minute donations to plow in for approximately an hour. So for those of you that are in the chat, Expect a link before too long. The Fidge King says the Insane Clown Posse did a song called Old Evil Eye on the Riddle Box from the 1990s. It was a tribute to Edgar Allan Poe, not just any particular story, but the Telltale Heart. Because there was the eye with the film over it. Links will be sent on Discord and to trusted individuals. Yes, yes. Now, remember, life will always come after you. But it's a cycle, Scooby Pup, and I want you to pay attention. As both of these songs work in tandem with one another. So I'm down and so I'm out, but so are many others. So I feel like trying to hide my head neath these covers. Life is like the seasons. After winter comes the spring. So I'll keep this smile a while and see what tomorrow brings. I've been told and I believe that life is meant for living. And even when my chips are low, there's still some left for giving. I've been many places, maybe not as far as you. So I think I'll stay a while and see if some dreams come true. There isn't much that I have learned through all my foolish years, except that life keeps running in cycles. First there's laughter, then those tears. But I'll keep my head up high, although I'm kinda tired. My gal just up and left last week, and Friday I got fired. You know it's almost funny, but things can't get worse than now. So I'll keep on trying to sing, but please, just don't ask me now. Now, that is where you're currently at. You're facing a trough. And things can't seem to get much worse. But you have the power in your corner, my dear. And you're going to look life dead in the eye. And you're going to tell it to, well, for lack of a better word, to right off. You know what I'm saying? Because that's life. That's how life works. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know that I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stopping on a dream, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this final world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king, and up and down and over and out, and I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the rest. That's life. I tell you, I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a bard and a king, and up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back and the rest. I said, that's life. Pardon, what's that? Life. That's life and I can't deny it. Many times I thought I got now, but my heart just won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking, come here this July. I'ma roll myself up in a big ball and we're going to check to see if any more pledges have come in for our telethon before we open up tonight's program to the panel public. And it looks like everything is now caught up and tidy. With that out of the way, we are going to go ahead and go to a quick commercial break while we send out links to trusted individuals far and wide. I'm sure that everybody would like to come in and enjoy a little bit of time here before things get started elsewhere. So we are going to do exactly that. Links are about ready to be sent out after these few messages, or actually during. So again, don't touch that dial, don't move a muscle or a vein, an artery. Yes, I ripped that off from Sven Gulli, but who cares? Be back in just a few minutes.
Hey, Chip, you head to the bowling alley after school?
Oh, I can't, Rocky. I got an algebra test tomorrow. I really gotta study for.
That's a shame. The entire cheer squad's gonna be there. It's gonna be real boss.
Say, Rock, how is it that you never have to study? Back in grade school, you were dumbing in a sack of potatoes. Not to mention all the concussions you suffered playing football.
That was the old Rocky, before I discovered Mentats.
Mentats? What's that? Some kind of prep class?
What, Chip? You know when you got dead in one of those. No, Mentats is a drug. It makes you smarter, funnier, and comes in 4 great flavors. Here, have a taste.
Wow, I feel smart already. But isn't this wrong? Mr. Kopowski says there's no shortcuts to success.
Sounds like Mr. Kopowski didn't take his Mentats this morning, 'cause that's just about the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
Mentats, brains when you need it, so you can party when you don't.
Thank you for calling the Asman Hotel. This is the bar.
Hey, is Angel there?
Angel's not here. Call back later.
No, he's there. I know he's there.
He's not here. Call back later. Bye.
No.
Husband bar.
I know he's there, though. Come on.
Angel's not here. Goodbye. Husband Hotel bar.
Put him on. Where's Angel? Put Angel on the phone. I need to talk with him.
Angel is not here. Please stop calling me. Goodbye.
Put that fucking bitch. I know Angel's over there. You put him on the phone.
What?
Dick-sucking department. Where's Angel?
This is the bar. Angel is not here. I cannot put him on the phone. Would you stop calling?
Cat slut. Put that twink slut on the phone, you stupid cat-in-the-hat bastard.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You've called 84 times in the last 5 minutes. Angel is not here. This is the bar. Can't you understand that, damn it?
I know he's fucking there. Put Angel on the phone or I will come there and I will fuck you.
Come over here and do it then.
No, I will fuck you.
I'll fuck you harder.
I will fuck you more.
Well, you can practice by fucking off.
I will kill you.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm gonna take a shit in a Walmart bag and slap you across the face with it, you fucking moth. Stop calling here.
about thinking is the hardest sort of thinking there is. Which makes you think. Now, doesn't it? Let us be joined by the great ScoobyPup01. Cinevia, if you want to join in on the panel, link has been sent to you. And of course, for the other people that want to join the panel, please message the chat here, and I will DM you directly. But we are now basically going to be taking in our calls now, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully things are looking better for you, other than what's currently going on in other matters. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing okay. I just got monetized by YouTube, so that's...
Well, I heard the news, but I believe this is the first time that I can congratulate you face-to-face. Congratulations on your recent promotion.
Yeah,
I'm certain that will assist you during your transition of residence, yes?
Yes. I mean,
what's good?
YouTube is not one of those things that I'm going to rely on for like my entire life or whatever, or whatnot. It's more like a side thing to help out whenever I need it.
Yeah, it's never a good idea to like immediately go into content creation to be your full time. You should always start off it being a hobby to see if you even enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it's more of a hobby, but now that I'm monetized, it's very helpful.
I'll have you know that my ease into content creation was done out of things that were beyond my control, but we will not discuss that here. Let's welcome our good friend Zach and Kashimala to the panel. Thank you for calling in.
My boy with the hard
listeners and
pronounced name.
callers.
Good to see you again,
I never got notified for Stock Stream. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind that at all. It's just thought that someone should know. This is YouTube once again showing how broken it is, as it has been toggling. Some of our shorts are finally beginning to bring in traction from subscribers again, which is good. There was a plateau that we have been working very hard to overcome. But here we are now. So things are once again back on track. Expect more Skeletor shorts as well as Megatron shorts and Skeletron shorts and all of the shorts. For short shorts, near for short shorts. But I digress. Why, hello, Kashimla. How's life treating you?
Well, medium. In some ways good, in some ways bad, and in some ways in the middle, as per usual. But Scooby and this, I hope that everything is going well I hope that everything goes well from here for you. Shall I put it that way?
I mean, my brother.
You find a better place.
Yeah, my brother helped last us through the summer.
That's nice of him.
And I was under the impression that he had lasted us for longer than that. Like gotten us a 6-month lease at least.
Yeah.
And apparently, that was not the case.
The percentage increase that you're talking about, or that's listed on your Give Send Go, is that legal in the state in which it's occurring? I'm not going to say it out loud.
It's a privately owned apartment complex.
That's a crazy...
So what I'm gathering is that the illegal activity that is being levied is not illegal at all.
No.
Oh.
I mean, Maryland in itself, okay, so the various counties in Maryland, each can be more expensive than the other. We happen to live in Anne Arundel, which is probably the most expensive out of all the counties. And on top of that, and I think that's probably because the Naval Academy is here. Now, on top of that, we
in the Navy, you can price your fellow man in the Navy. Lock up the rent while you can in the Navy. You can't afford to live here in the Navy. In the Navy. Anyway, continue.
In the Navy, you're called a bunch of seamen.
But just to be, since the numbers are specifically listed in the Give and Send Go, It's a 60% increase.
Yeah, because we also the mayor is a jackass, and the governor. We used to have like a 3-star on the taxes, and what I mean by 3-star on the taxes, I mean we were pretty good, we were cheap, and so on. Not anymore. Election probably help. So the new governor kind of brought us down to like a 2-star, which was not helpful for any of the counties or the state overall. And like I said, Anne Arundel is in itself expensive, and then on top of that, it's a privately owned apartment complex. And when you have an apartment complex that's privately owned, that's their way of saying, "Hey, guess what? We can change it, and we can change the rent on you at any point in time that we want. We'll give you notice, but we can change it at any point in time we want. So we can raise it whenever we want. But they have to give you notice." And when we first moved in, we were paying $2,500.
Damn.
And now we're paying.
That sounds absolutely vile.
Yeah, and now it's $4,000.
Also quite vile.
Yeah, but the difference between 2,500 and 4,000 is 60% increase. I just want to be quantitative with people because that's like like people need to understand that that's a 60% increase. That's wild.
Yeah.
So the price of living nowadays has gone way up. I have a my best mate lives in a small studio-sized apartment, which is no bigger than like a small living room, and the rent is $1,400.
Yeah, but you're talking about somebody that's living in a city, right?
No, he lives in a normal town, literally down the road from where I live.
Yeah,
okay, but I'm hearing you talk with a British accent, and your idea of spacing might be a little different.
Annapolis is not a big city. It's not big by in any way, shape, or form. I mean, we mainly have tourists here. We have more tourists here than we do locals, but we're not a big city at all.
I mean, it's more quaint, if anything.
Yes, we're a quaint town, and like we moved here last year, I believe, and over the time they've just been slowly but surely just raising the rent bit by bit, and then come summertime, while I was in Seattle during May, I come back in June, and my mom is like, "Hey, this is our situation." And we had quite a hard time living off of what we had, like Social Security, credit cards, bank, everything. And I asked my brother, and this whole family just fiasco. Like I was asking my brother for help, and he was no help. I was asking my dad for help. My dad was like, "I'll let you stay up here for a month, but then you're on your own." I mean, it was just a great big fiasco. And after a while, because we were supposed to be kicked out by July, but then my brother was like, "Okay, fine, I'll help you out." And we're out up to here now.
We have, I believe, a second-time caller ever to the program here tonight. We have Enemy Night 1992. Welcome, and you are on the air.
Hello. Hello, ScoobyPup.
Greetings.
How are you?
Live long and prosper, my friend.
How are you, ScoobyPup?
Could be a little bit better. We put in for assisted rent and assisted bill pay. So basically,
now it's under my knowledge that those kind of offices, if it's like Section 8 or HUD housing or something of that is similar, that there is a long wait time for that.
Oh yes, there is an extremely long wait time for Section 8 housing and stuff. However, if you're asking for assistance in paying your bills and paying your rent, however, there is not a long wait for that. it's relatively fast. So we did put in for assistance in rent. We put in assistance for paying of bills and stuff. So we're
Going
doing
to
it.
like the county or the state? Like, how's that work? Is that like local level or like state level or?
So for us, for me in particular, what we're going through and everything, but we're putting the bill pay and stuff like that. That's all going to be for Anne Arundel County.
Okay, so it's by county.
Hail to old Joe. He is the man behind South River Studios and the Mythical. It's a pleasure to see you here. You let me know if you would like links, and we will provide you one via the Twit-Twat. We've already done the variety entertainment segment of the show, but we will continue to do pledge fulfillment for any future donations throughout this hour. But then after this hour, the conversation will, of course, dry up, and we do have to start bringing the show to a close, as this was a very impromptu fundraiser, given the expedited need for donation, given your circumstances. I was just as shocked as she was, and she was the one that received the eviction notice, so here we are.
Yeah, so we were kind of surprised, especially me, because I was under the impression that we had more time. My mom was like, no, and I was like, you could have told me this sooner. Even though, I would have, I would have gone after my dad even more. Because we looked up into the idea of maybe even separating, parting ways, and I get a studio or something. A studio in Maryland, a studio in Annapolis is very small. It's about the size of one bedroom. And even there, it's not even a bedroom. It's just it's one total open space, and it's not that big. Those cost up to $1,200 a month. And then you add in electricity bills and maintenance bills and stuff like that. Even there, if I were to use my Social Security for help on that one, I still wouldn't be able to make it. And as it is, I have epilepsy, so I always have to have a caretaker on me sometimes.
Did they give you a 90-day notice? Have you consulted any tenant advocacy group or an attorney as an agent DPK? These are all valid opportunities. Have you pursued any?
Yes.
No assistance from any at all?
None.
Well, there's your answer. I wish it could have been. That's rather final, rather.
Mm-hmm.
How fast are the assistance you're applying for? How fast is that?
It can normally, depending on the situation, like how fast you need it and like how well off you are. Like if you're making a fair amount of money, then they think, okay, then your situation, they won't expedite it as much as they should. But if you are like unemployed, have disabilities and things like that, your situation gets expedited. And that is the case over here. So our situation is getting expedited.
And since it's at the county level, it's a smaller caseload, so they're able to do it quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you've got like a local social program.
Yeah, and what's great is all those buildings that we need to go to, they're like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, no, that's good. I guess location, like it sounds like location's one of the things that's harming you, but you also
because my doctors, especially because my doctors, my neurologist and my dentist and stuff like that, they're all also like about 5 to 10 minutes away.
Yeah. So like you specifically need that, and that's just kind of like a rare situation to be in.
Yeah.
How dismal.
Yeah, and my mom, she's sold a couple of her items to make do with some of the rent, I've been trying to sell stuff. None of my stuff is really selling. I've been trying to put your stuff up to sell too.
The fact that those assistant programs aren't willing to help really it's not fun because
No, it's not.
They're supposed to help you regardless. I don't know what did they give any specific reasons, like any specifics.
If you want to get if as it is for grants and help and stuff, when you want to apply to those, you got to get down to the nitty gritty of you got to bring them all of your taxes, your work. You got to bring a whole bunch of paperwork, and when you go over there, you better have it organized, or it's going to take a while. Luckily, we had that. The reason for the eviction notice is just that. Apparently, it was a late payment or whatever. They've taken my mom to court over this one time. And my mom, she went to court and they didn't even show up. So the court case got tossed out. So it's like, you're going to do this to us again? So, yeah, personally, I think these people are insane. I think people who treat their renters and stuff like that, who treat them like that in any way, shape, or form, regardless of where they are freaking insane.
How long does it take you to get to DC from where you are? Or like the vicinity of the nearest big city? Maybe it's like, I know Annapolis is like, I don't know if it's Baltimore or DC, but like
Baltimore, I think it's like an hour and a half.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've been there.
This isn't Minneapolis. This is Annapolis, Maryland.
Annapolis,
sorry.
Maryland.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I
no,
got
like-
I got
like,
too confused. I'm so sorry.
I
I do have to step away. There is an urgent matter. I will return momentarily. I have to make a business call.
Okay.
Scooby, you are leading the proceedings, and I trust your judgment.
So, yeah. As far as DC goes, I think a little over 2 hours.
Okay, all right. That's a bit further than I thought. It's been a while since I passed through Annapolis, but like the only time I've done, I passed through it, you know, and like it struck me as like, I mean, a city is maybe generous, but like, you know, it was quaint as they go, you know. I mean, like
we're not a town where everybody knows your name, but if you've lived there long enough and you are a local, then you're sure as hell gonna know the name of everybody who works at all the the bars and everything. Like, I can go to any one of the sports bars and stuff like that, and downtown, they'll know my name, they'll know my mom, they'll know my brother and stuff like that.
How many people is it? Let me just look that up.
But we have more tourists now than ever before because our current mayor thinks that it's great to make Annapolis look like the frickin' Hamptons.
Oh, okay. It's about 40,000 people. That's like comparable to the town I grew up in, Smyrna, Delaware. I get the feel of that. I get the feel.
And they're wanting to do a whole lot of changes down here, and not changes for the best, changes for the worst. Like I said, he's trying to make us look like the Hamptons, and they're buying out certain areas that are like former boat docks and turning them into restaurants. And when I mean boat docks, I mean not the actual dock that you walk out onto. But the certain areas, certain boathouses, that's what I mean. Boathouses, they're taking them and turning them into restaurants, and if not restaurants, then hotels, and it's like, seriously, knock it off.
Yeah. They're trying to like gentrify it, make it like upscale and all that.
Oh yeah, and he's going to be voted out. I mean, this was his last term, and he's taken away a whole bunch. He's destroyed so much of our town.
Sounds like a jet.
I mean, if you were to see what Annapolis was like visually downtown if you were to see what downtown was like 3 years ago compared to how it is now, you'd find a very big difference.
Like how so?
So we used to have, so by Ego, what we had, we have an area called Ego Alley downtown, and Ego Alley is where basically all the boats can be parked, and most of them are big boats and whatnot, and that's why it's called Ego Alley. You can see all those boats.
Yeah.
Hence ego, boosting your ego. Anyways, yeah. And when you leave Ego Alley and you go straight on to Annapolis into the parking lot area, right there in the center of the parking lot, I forget the name of the building, but it was there. It had a restroom and washrooms and stuff like that you needed if you were somebody if you were boating or whatnot. It was there for you to help you with anything that you needed. The mayor got rid of it, so now there's no restroom down there, and he replaced it with a whole bunch of porta potties that line that area. And he intends on putting a garden there, but the thing is, though, is that at the end of the year, he's gone. It's been sitting there, destroyed, like a total eyesore. So it's kind of like, yeah, you wrecked us, and you're leaving us. You're an a-hole. Stay gone. Leave the state, please. When he became mayor, not all the, but a vast majority of the local stores started leaving, and more of the stores that you would find all over the country would start appearing.
What? When was that?
This has been over the past. So for the mayor, that is, for the mayor, it's been for the past couple of. He's been changing Annapolis like no tomorrow for like the past 4 or 5 years, maybe. And it was his final term where he just went full blast.
On the dumbassery.
Everybody hate me. I'm the dumbass.
Yeah. It's kind of rough. I mean, like, honestly, I used to live in Maryland. I escaped to Pennsylvania for reason. I like certain types of laws better in Pennsylvania than Maryland. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that. Well, I mean, actually, no, I can't appreciate. I can't appreciate what you're going through right now. That sounds fucking awful, and it's something I've never had to deal with, and I hope I never do. But that really sounds god awful.
Yeah, my mom wants to move to West Virginia, where she says things are cheaper, but
they are.
Huh?
I mean, they are like real estate prices and rent and all that stuff. Those things are definitely lower in West Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, I went to college. I went to Salem International University, which was in West Virginia.
That's cool.
The problem is my nieces aren't there. And my mom refuses to leave the state unless my brother leaves the state too. So basically, she'll move to West Virginia if he moves to West Virginia.
But what's his job?
He works in logistics for Home Depot.
Well, okay, so that's
and they've offered him chances to move upstate, downstate, because he's that good at what he does.
Yeah. So if he wanted to go to West Virginia, he could.
Yeah, he could easily do so. They have offered him upstate, like they've offered him towards New York. They've offered him. So they've offered him like, I think, like, let's see, there was New Hampshire was one of them.
They're trying to move them into a bigger market.
Yeah, they offered into New Hampshire. They've offered him to Rhode Island. They've offered him North Carolina.
All those things are going to be bigger markets.
Yeah, and they've offered that he can, stay where he is, and he's continued to offer. I mean, he's continued to stay where he is.
I have returned. Sorry, there's an impromptu overlords meeting. And as Azrael was trying to figure out how to use a telephone, and I had to, basically give him step-by-step instructions, including how far to crank it, how to charge it, how to discuss things with the operator, only to find out that it was one of those dreaded cellular devices.
I thought your
heavens me.
method of communication would have been radio, you old fuck.
Telephone existed before radio, you ninny.
ScoobyPup, I too know what it's like to face homelessness. Actually, I've been homeless twice in the span of 10 years. My most recent one was in 2020. Me and my roommates, we really got fucked over by a few people, and the rent was way too high. So I understand jacking the rent up and everything in between.
Slay every game with a very generous pledge of $5. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. If we get to another 5, I'll be able to sing one more a cappella track for you fine folks here today. Again, because that is still being acknowledged. Every $10 a song, every 20 a dad joke's real, every 30 a scary story, and every 50 a little bit more of the ebonies and ivories, as it were. So thank you very much. Slay every game. A skeleton with a lot to say on his mind. We appreciate you. Continue.
Anyway, of course, thank you again. So what happened was we all looked at each other and were like, look, let's gather up as well and gather everything up we could. They didn't give us like a full 30. They didn't give us like a full 30. We had to be out within about a week or so. So with that braining down our necks, we gathered up everything we could, and luckily we found some storage units and everything. And for 6 months, we hopped from every Motel 6. We got banned from 2 of them, unfortunately. And then finally around March of 2021, we finally got a trailer house because my roommate, her ex-husband, finally sent the money from their divorce. I can't get into specifics on that one, but I'll leave it at that. And we were able to get a trailer house. We were able to get one for that amount of money. So ScoobyPup, I fully understand what you are going through, what you're facing right now. It's not fun. And the fact that none of the family members want to help, it just proves who it shows their true colors.
Their true colors were shown several years ago when my grandparents died.
Well, this reinforces it. It's like, so even when I'm on the ground, you people aren't going to help me, and everything.
This is going to sound like off the wall crazy, but Theta, this has happened to Theta, and I'm sure it's probably happened to quite a few people. When my grandparents died, my mom is the second oldest of 7.
Mm-hmm.
The will stated everything had to be split equally, house sold as is, and so forth. Her siblings violated everything in the will. Like if you were to violate one thing in that will, you had to forfeit your bit. They violated everything, and the one who was in charge of the will, which was the eldest in the family, my mom's older sister, Isabel, she didn't even give my mom her money. So my mom saw none of her inheritance, which is what put us into this spot in the first place.
That's awful.
And we kept on trying to take them into court, but every time we tried to take them into court, we run into brick walls, because the lawyer wants X amount of money and we can't afford X amount of money. So it's kind of like, oh, this is great. And then we get a letter saying you took too long, therefore you forfeit your inheritance, period. And then we're starting to get bills from them. Yeah, and then we're getting bills from them demanding we pay their lawyer fees.
What?
And
of course.
And my mom, she was furious. She was like, fuck you. Like hell, you can come after me all you want. I'm not paying shit.
You know what's funny? And this is a tertiary point, but I want to quote Stone Cold Loki. He had a show earlier today, that we tuned into while working up our queue on more YouTube shorts for the week and the next week. Actually, we got about 2 weeks worth done.
Nice.
We heard them talking about certain people and how vulture-like they truly are, and in his context and his discussion. People that collaborated on channels, but there can only be one single owner, one social security number per channel. But there are people out there that are such vultures that they want to take over other channels, take them, and make them theirs, and use their content, steal their content, and continue to upload on an established channel versus making their own. This is the same kind of predatory and selfish behavior, financially, fiscally, that we're seeing with a lot of people's families, and just not being able to divvy out what was intended to be divvied out upon the bereaved's passing and their wishes. Everybody, it's a grabbing hands thing. Grabbing hands, grab all they can. Everything counts in large amounts, as the song goes, and it's unfortunate. There was a time whenever, certain wills and testaments were adhered to, when people didn't have to have legal parley with multiple forms of counsel to try and find loopholes and to take what isn't intended to be theirs. And it's a sordid affair, and it's a terrible thing to talk about. In fact, I'm getting a little ill just, talking about it in a different context. Yes, DBK says, that's why if you're a multi-creator channel, you form an LLC and get an FEIN. Absolutely. But this is not just with channels in particular. I'm just providing context that people are, when it comes to fiscal needs, very predatory, very predatory. It's like vultures, and it's a terrible feeling. In fact, I think I have gotten so ill that I need to remind everyone that we have approximately 15 minutes before show end. We are going to be ending the broadcast before too long, so these are any time for last-minute pledges for sudden death over time. But I do want to appreciate everybody who has donated so willingly to ScoobyPup. You provide hope for the human race, and and as much as I would like to see you all whenever you pass, you're well on the right direction to not have to deal with the likes of yours truly. Whenever you come down here, so good on you.
Yeah, what is funny though is how much her siblings are afraid of my dad. I went to sell something on Facebook, and one of them sent me a text message asking me if what I was selling was stolen.
Wow.
And I said, no, it was actually, I was like, no, it was actually a gift from my dad. And he goes, oh, so you're selling a gift from your dad. That's low. Does he know it? And I said, actually, it was his idea. You got a problem with it? Take it up with him. I'm sure he'd be happy to be talking with you right now. Never heard from that family member again.
Good on you, Scooby.
File 13 says, I never believe anything anyone says when it comes to legalities. Sooner or later, little truths come out when paperwork is present. Everyone always says their part because it is favored. Exactly, people will criffing criff you. No matter the context, hand a criffing contract and write it to the criffing contract a loser pays clause. Well, criff.
So,
But that should be illegal, what they did to her will and everything. That should be illegal.
Oh, it is. It is illegal. I keep on telling my mom to go after them about that too. And she said, I mean, there's not much we can do. We can't afford one. And believe it or not, my aunt, my aunt, one of them, who is married to the asshole that accused me of stealing what I was selling, which was this beautiful bronze Pegasus. I was selling that, and it was my uncle, but she is a lawyer. And
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if we want to have time for our plugs, we do need to wrap this conversation. I also need to go ahead and put a timer on the remaining time that we will be accepting pledges for fulfillment. This is not in any means saying to stop donating. It's just if you want a fulfillment via the pledges that are being sent in, you're going to have an approximate 2-minute timer, in which then we will be doing closing statements as well as plugging our programs right directly. And I want to thank you all again. From the bottom of our hearts, we did our portion, and hopefully it will help Scooby's endeavors as she finds a new place of residence. This is your 2-minute timer for any remaining pledges seeking fulfillment. After that, the telethon will be closed, and we will go ahead and start winding down tonight's program. Thank you all again from the bottom of our hearts.
But yeah, they've been a pain in our arse. They really have. And it's really because of them that we got in this situation.
It is a conundrum. Oh boy, ScoobyPup, you are in the worst conundrum I have ever seen.
Yeah, Maryland is not nice.
But
maybe you should come down here to the second most impoverished economy, where even your social security compensation will at least afford you amicable living conditions.
No. Come to Pennsylvania. We're purple. We need you.
Yeah, we're a blue state over here. Certainly.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I know.
even worse.
That's why I left.
We are a blue state, and yeah, but we had a Republican governor that was kick ass for a while. Then he went to the Senate. And now we have a Democratic governor who's a jackass. So, yeah.
I left. There are certain things that I care about that I went to Pennsylvania for. I like their laws in a certain way better. But I mean, Maryland's one of the sinister seven, or was, and yeah.
I've been to Pennsylvania before. It's a nice place. I like it. I went there to visit a friend, and I went to an anime convention while we were there.
There's a part of it like in the vicinity of like the capital is Harrisburg and like Lancaster. That region is really nice. I kind of want to one day maybe go that way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our telethon is now closed. We had raised for you, ScoobyPup, today a total of $110.
Nice.
So we thank you all. We thank you all once again for your donations. We understand that it is the first of the month, and some of us live on the third of the month, namely all of us YouTubers. So we understand. We thank you for your donations. Again, this was unprecedented, unplanned, impromptu, emergency, and we had done quite well for 3 hours, in my personal opinion. But now it is time for us to go ahead and go around the room and plug your channels. Obviously, give you a bit of proper advertisement before we do our final closing number, and wish everyone a good night. ScoobyPup, our blessed beneficiary, we're going to be praying a lot for you. I know that's about as rich coming from a demon, as it were, but we will be praying for the lot of you. Do let us know what you're going to be doing next, my dear.
So I just started my new game for my ScoobyPup Barcade. Like I had said before, October, everything I do is going to be done. Everything I do is going to have to do with horror or scary or whatever. Today this afternoon, I started up on my first horror game, which is going to be Siren. What is scary about this game is that it's a horror, is that it catches me off guard so much. And I'm stuck in the very beginning.
Does that mean that we can come by and say hi?
I mean, this game, and it has tons. It's got. I'm on my second escort mission, and the person that's with me, I just want to get killed every time I get caught. I'm just like, you know what? Kill the person.
Oh, dear heavens!
Wait. Is that the Siren with the cameras or the other one?
No, this is Siren. It's the one that uses the cameras and stuff. That's Fatal Frame. Siren is something else, all completely different. I'm starting to think maybe I should have played Fatal Frame instead.
Wait, was Fatal Frame the second person horror?
I don't know, because I haven't played Fatal Frame in a very long time. And Siren Forbidden, I've never played at all, which is what I'm playing. And that's what I'm going to be playing for the Barcade until I finish it, if I ever finish it. But and then I intend on playing Silent Hill F at some point. But yes, this weekend on Scooby Pup's podcast, Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern, I will have Stu Penzo and Suns and Shadows, and my wonderful co-host / producer, Stark of Iron. We will be talking about what makes a good horror film and why they are the way they are today.
If he is not available, I'm sure that we can send one of the cavalcade of individuals in his repertoire to take his seat.
Yes, and we all know most of the horror films today nowadays are just basically jump scares. So we're going to be discussing that, and on the 6th of October, That Darn Kitty and I will be doing a Scooby Pups review on The Conjuring.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. Looks like you're going to continue to do your best to make sure that the bills are paid. And congratulations again on your monetization. We are going to ask you once again, we need to make a commercial for you.
Yes. Oh, and also reminds me, I'm also going to be doing a review with Alistair on Has Been Hotel. And
didn't we settle it for Monday the 13th, was it?
That works for me.
Very good. Very good.
And,
because 13 is a lucky number where I'm from.
On March 13th is when I was born. But, yeah. And like as I said, I am newly monetized. And people who join or become a member, they will have a say as towards what games and shows and stuff I review, and what games I will be playing for the Barcade. I will give them a list of games that of like a choice, and if you are a member, you get to have a say, as you get first say as I want you to play this.
Fantastic. We are running short on time. Let's go ahead and get these last advertisements out, and I do have one finishing number that I would like to perform before we close out. Zachariah, I'm sure you want to plug for your father, because I don't think you have any...
My dad does streams where he just like talks to some other people about what's currently going on in today's society. He also has been talking about a bunch of like gaming stuff recently. So yeah, if you're into like podcasts and stuff like that, 100% check him out at The American Patriots Pad. He does very good stuff.
And right here, Mr. Richard Spake himself has just returned in time.
It's a lot of effort into this
Mr.
stuff.
Stark is currently home. We wouldn't be broadcasting if we weren't, kind sir. Yes. And John would be nice as well as Nuka-Colas. We just drank our last cat, so we would appreciate your care package, and we appreciate your support. We were able to raise $110 for Scooby Pup. Keep her in your prayers. She is going to be transitioning her place of residence before too long, with that and much more money that we have acquired over the last few months. Thank you very much, Richard Spake, and the great Kashimala. Say that three times fast. If you can spell his name, you can find his YouTube. There's your challenge for the day.
Yes, if you can spell it, you can find it.
That's right.
I will be looking to add something scary one of these days. In the meantime, you won't get any nonsense notifications. So go ahead and subscribe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anime Knigget! As the French would like to say it, go and bow your bottoms, sons of a silly person.
Well, after this, I'm going to be starting off Nightcast, and then tomorrow is a watch party. We're watching Dot Hack Sign. Friday is Sonic Crossroads. Saturday night, I will be playing Double Dragon's Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. Sunday's nights the anime table, and this Monday, I'll be playing Blood Rain for the PS2.
That's an oldie but goldie. Vampires versus Nazis, ladies and gentlemen.
Blood Rain is a great game. I have both the first and the second.
Of course, what we have coming up on my end, I suppose I shall teach you guys how to properly provide a commercial. If you thought this variety show was good, be sure to check out Stock's Thursday Matinee, happening in approximately less than 24 hours from this notice stop. That's right, it won't just star me, but a motley assembly of other characters over the course of 91 different impersonations, puppets, cartoons, celebrities, and more. Would you like parody music? Maybe a little bit more of that penny ante piani? Then feel free to tune in to Stock's Thursday Matinee, the variety show that happens before the variety show, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, achieving any of our goals allows us to have a bonus gaming stream, but even if we don't get that, we have a bonus matinee happening within the slotted hours right after Scooby Pup's podcast. That'll be happening at 7 p.m. Saturday and going until the Content Council, where you'll find Alf and sometimes his representation. What will happen over in the Puppets Chaos and Pandemonium? You'll have to tune in to find out, ladies and gentlemen, but let's just say there's going to be a lot of clopping in the future. Beware the horse and its revenge. It is going to happen, and it's going to happen really, really fast, and I really don't know. No Churchill Downs representatives are going to be harmed in the future shooting of that chaotic puppet panel. Join Mr. Stark as he hangs out with Enzo from Tales from the Dark Side, occasionally with X for What's Good Wednesday and Circle of Jerks. Hopefully he'll be able to sneak his way in there this coming Saturday after Zax returns from the realm of Italia. Be sure to say that when in Rome, things stay there. Toga party there, Zax. All of this and more will be coming up. You may also find Mr. Stark on Abomination AJs during Tighten Up Tuesdays. He may have a guest spot in the near future for Masculine Mondays on the Plot Strikes Back, and many, many more. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, and good night. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do a commercial.
10 out of 10. Put it in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Now, we do have one last song that we are going to perform before the night's end, and I want to thank everybody again for your generosity tonight. It has been a wonder and a pleasure, so if everybody could mute up when I go ahead and change the line-ins, that would be absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? That's right, it's closing time. So I feel like we should remind you that you can't stay here. You can go home, or you can go elsewhere, but you just can't stay here. Go ahead and get this underway then, shall we? Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl. Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can stay. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time. This room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come. So gather up your jackets, move it to the exits. I hope you have found a friend. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time, ladies and gentlemen. Take your alcohol with you. Be sure not to waste it. This isn't the Tombstone, and you're not going to be doing more than just 4 drinks. Drink responsibly. Alcohol is indeed poison. Be sure to take care of yourself and your body because you only get one. Thank you. Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time. I know that this lyric is shoehorned and it will be done. Yes. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. Take me home. Thank you very, very much. Let us go ahead and switch our line-ins. We'll be back in just a few moments. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are.
We hear you.
You know, it just isn't an episode of 616 if we didn't have a grand finale. You know what grand finale that is?
I'm
I'll
worried.
surprise you. In the meantime, everybody, have yourself a wonderful evening. Say goodbye, everyone.
Take care, guys, and ScoobyPup, good luck.
And now, where did I put him? There you are. It's time to pay for your arrogance, my good fellow. And the only way I take my payment is with blood.
No, that's not, come on, we win an entire show. No, we win an entire show. Oh, come on, no. Ah! No, that's no, God, that's not supposed to be that way.
Yes, I am well aware that that's not supposed to be that way.
Please.
I'm going to devour each and every one of you. Be fine, fool.
Reactor temperature critical. Reactor temperature stabilized.
I feel better already.